everyone, and welcome to what is hopefully a very exciting and adventurous finale to our wonderful mystery that we've had here. I am, as I was last week, and will hopefully still be next week, Elliot, your storyteller for this game. I use he, him pronouns. And before we get too far into the weeds and everything, I did, of course, want to shout out Nerds with Dice for letting us be on here tonight and these last several weeks. And definitely be sure to check out the links in chat for merch, YouTube, Discord, and currently doing casting for an upcoming game called Emergent. You can find that information on the Nerds with Dice Blue Sky or the Discord. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Before we get into the game, I do want to give my players a chance to introduce themselves. So I'll start from my beginning. So Chanelise, who are you?
That's a good question. Hi, my name is Chanel Leaves. I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I will be playing Max Morgan, Accidental Gorgon, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Thank you very much. And Allegro, who are you?
Hi, I'm Allegro. I use they and pronouns. I'm also known as Alluring Allegro on the internet. Part-time actual play, part-time VTuber, and I am playing Jack, our local tree person.
Yay, tree people. And Satine, who are you?
Hey, I'm Satine Bonnet. Pronouns my name none, and I'll be playing Big Girl, who's currently not a rat anymore. Currently, maybe be a bear centaur this round. Maybe. Any all pronouns for Big Girl.
We've been trying like this whole time to get that to happen, and today might be the day. Satine, we're gonna find out. And go ahead and bring us home, Rain. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm Rain, they, them pronouns. I'm here on time this time, thanks to class cooperating. And I am playing Daff, our resident alien ghost grandma turducken. Uh, yeah, ready to see how this ends.
Yeah, awesome. And so, without further ado, I'll give us a quick reminder of what has transpired over the last few weeks. We first met in the town of Crossroads, a kind of sleepy, middle of nowhere, nowhere important, but on the way to a lot of important places town. And recently, this usually sleepy town had been plagued with murders, specifically these violent, surprising murders that seemingly had no connection amongst the victims except for the way that their bodies were found. Each one of them had these twisted limbs and this mysterious, unidentified, like black liquid around their mouths. And for some reason, the four of you, well, more specifically, your place of employment, the Dead and Breakfast, had been cast under suspicion in regards to these murders. So the four of you went ahead and started to really look into what happened to these people, the victims, and to try to clear your own names. And through a combination of clever investigation and perhaps a little bit of luck, you did find out that the source of these accusations came from this anonymous tip that a local tabloid, Hot Iron Press, received. And it specifically just called out that all of the victims had been seen at your haunted house before they died. And following that lead, you were able to pretty confidently guess that the anonymous tip was left by a teenager named Rebecca Jones, and did attempt to go talk to her about the situation or about that. But Daff happened to get there before perhaps some more charismatic members of your group, and it didn't seem to provide too much as far as answers. And for a moment, there was concern that there wouldn't be anything that the four of you could do without more information and perhaps another person falling victim, when Max had the idea to go back and look through all those old credit card receipts and specifically called out the Res Life card that had been used multiple times. And you went to the local college and discovered that the card had been used by none other than the Alpha Sigma Frat, which is a small frat that lives in a house just off of campus from Crossroads College. And it's there at the kind of afternoon of October the 18th that we pick up with the four of you having found information on two members of the Alpha Sigma Frat. One of them is an Alex H and a Ty. You'd only really able to find their Instagram accounts. And you found out that they, along with some other frat bros, had gone to Louisiana over the summer and possibly brought back more than some cheap souvenirs. But I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Go ahead and I say go ahead, but yeah, you guys are all standing in the den and breakfast having this discussion. What would you like to do?
There is a lot.
Mm. The only
And
thing I can
I
remember is Earl a cat. I'm trying to like put my brain back in the scene.
I remember Jack wanted to look up information about the one of the people in about Louisiana, how their trip is.
I wanted to see if they had, I guess, posted anything about their trip and if there's anything weird about it, and then if not, just starting with we know approximately when they went based on, I guess, their socials already. So maybe looking up if there's anything weird happening, anything occult happening in the area they were when they were there, or like honestly, or just like historically in the area, and then go from there.
Okay. I would say go ahead and roll for me then. If you want to do 2d6 and let me know what you get as you are doing an internet deep dive on the situation, we'll say.
You know, that's a 5.
Okay. You aren't able to find too much, especially because it's hard because Louisiana, New Orleans, it is kind of known for its ghost stories, like creepy things happening, and you don't quite know enough about like what you'd be specifically looking for to find anything that like matches like what's happening in Crossroads. I would give you that, which is you don't find any reports about like, you know, string of murders that like match the MO. Like you don't find reports of dead bodies that were found the same way that they've been found in Crossroads or anything like that. So basically you find nothing, which could be good or bad.
I really want to. If Big Earl was not so anti-internet, I would see if they could try to find out. But I have a feeling
You probably shouldn't let Big Earl do the internet research.
by your phone at all either, because that's pretty new. That's too new for them. Touchscreen.
I think Max would be willing to. Also, like, oh, did we get a vibe for like, are we going to talk? Like, what was what energy were we bringing to this place that we're going to?
You haven't left to go there yet.
Yeah, but like,
Um,
what are we like keying up for?
It's up to you guys.
Well,
Because
on
like
one
as a player,
hand,
I'm like, oh, boss battle. But like, does Max know he's going to a boss battle? Is my question.
right, it's like on one hand, would like to not necessarily have to deal with murder charges after this. Um, on the other, depending on what they do and don't have at their like disposal, you might have to get a little frisky with it. Um,
Scare them.
yeah, we could go with the scare tactic.
I mean, if they are raising something, why not give them something that they think they are raising?
Oh. Well, I think the problem is that whatever it is supposed to grow out of their victims, and so I think it'd probably be a little obvious if I mean we could try to I don't know who of us is good at that level of illusion in a place we don't have prior access to, but
We got seeds, we got possession, we got stone, we got costumes, so it can be a plan somewhat, but I have a feeling that we maybe need to do two rescues if this person is if the victim, and then the other victim who is going to be summoned out of this person if they're not in there already, or if they're I'm going back and forth
ooh,
about the goo. If this person is it really well this being
I
is
don't
better.
know if what they're trying to summon is of our realm per se. I think somebody would know about it, and we haven't been able to get no one's known anything. So my guess is it's not necessarily along those lines. I mean, I don't know. Unclear, but
Hmm.
hopefully plan A who is missing? Carla?
Yeah.
Hopefully Carla is the only civilian we
Hey, you never
have
know.
to worry about.
You never know. This could be a new community member.
Maybe. I don't know if anything summoned by a bunch of murderers white boys is something, right? Like I don't know if that like why
Yeah.
would they, you know?
They're not doing it well, so I don't hmm,
That
you
tracks.
know, it's not a willing as early.
We can be prepared for that possibility, but I do think we should maybe focus on what we're gonna how we're gonna deal with them. Um, and if civilian, one civilian or two, what how we're gonna extract. I think those are probably our two pillars we wanna.
Yeah, to focus on. At least getting, we don't want to have another body connected to here anymore. So like I don't want you to be out, Jack, of, you know, your house or your money because of all this
Would be nice.
by
That
some
would
white
be
boys.
nice. Yeah.
The girls
I
are staring
can't
at me.
wait to overgrow that frat house. You have no idea. But I don't know if I can do all that all the time. So we're gonna have to be careful about that one, I think. Um I because here's the deal. We could we have stone, definitely not cameras at our disposal. Um we have right you said we have possession. I don't do it all the time, but I do have some growth in decay magic, so maybe I don't know. I could do things related to potentially breaking down or building obstacles. Um
You think maybe there's like they love creaky stairs, so maybe you could carry a stair or something, make them all fall down.
You know, that'd be a little funny. I think the problem, we don't actually fully know, like they have a ritual site, but where is the ritual site within the property? Because I assume it's got to be on that property, right? Like where the heck else are they going to be doing all this?
Elliot, above table was when I had that like moment in when that person described what they saw. Was it a basement? Could I just think it's a basement? The site it
Yeah.
is.
So Jihei described a dark windowless room and did describe at one point there was a door and like stairs leading into the room that she was being kept in. So if you want to interpret that as a basement, you are welcome to do so. Um, but that's the room that she described.
Okay. Usually these houses maybe have a basement, like a frat house, because if it's owned by them, well, the school and them, um, maybe they'll have a basement.
And I will say also above the board, like this takes place in the general Midwest, which is more likely than some states to have some sort of basement or underground aspect to them, as opposed to some states don't have basements. So you know
Yeah, the
True, we
water
do love our
level.
basements.
Okay, so we have a bunch of things that could be going on, but we. Mm. Okay, so I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna get some more eyes just in case. Uh, I feel like we're just going to go for more reconnaissance, but things might pop off. I'm like Max, just kind of like I don't know why she's so dorky in this particular moment. I probably because of like the potential threat of violence, she feels like she needs to offset it, so she kind of
Yeah,
just like walks backwards
Maxine,
out of the room.
we may have to fight, so get ready for the glasses off. Make some
Oh,
stone like do you have your phone
mm,
out still? Your stone phone?
no, she doesn't have it out, but she kind of like
That's a good thing to throw at somebody's head
Yep.
if you got like in a last resort sort of situation.
And if you're powerful enough, you can when you turn somebody into stone, you could pick them up and use it as a weapon.
Mm. Max is kind
Or
of staring at Big Earl because, like, she understands at this point, Big Earl is used to body dynamics being variable at will, and Max is just like 5'6". So she's kind of looks at her at yeah her, yeah
I, I'm
that's a
I'm
pronoun,
five
any pronouns.
I'm
She
five
looks
I'm
at her
five
just like
four. I'm 5'4" right now.
today.
Yeah, truly. In a minute, I'm about to be 8 feet.
Okay. Okay. Max goes upstairs.
So sorry, to be clear, it's still the afternoon, right? Or like if that like we're not even at sundown yet.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably because you had a really early start to the day between like the four of you. I imagine at like latest it's like 1 o'clock. I also do want to say that you have like the pamphlet on the Alpha Sigma frat and everything. You don't have their address.
I mean, how hard is it to find a frat house over by campus on this like tiny ass town? Is it hard?
Oh, fair enough. I mean, if your goal is just we're gonna drive around until we find it, that's fine. I
Well,
just
I
didn't
mean, is
know
it
if you.
hard to find it on the internet either? Like, do we have
Yeah,
maps
Max
yet?
did. Max and Daft looked it up, didn't they?
I thought we did.
Oh, maybe you
Yeah,
did, and I've forgotten in a week,
I
which is
forgot
totally
as well.
possible.
If we didn't, Daft does know how to use the Google.
The Google.
Okay, we'll say part of Daft's preparation is just finding the frat house and like pulls up like the Google Earth image, and you know how it has like the street view. The street view does include the beer pong table that is set up out on the lawn.
Of
I love
course.
that we went for
It's like
Google Earth.
Yeah. What's
Like
going
the
it's like
full
you read
Google
my
Earth.
mind though,
Why
Elliot.
did just Google the name of the frat house?
No, we had to do enhance, zoom in. We looking for
Yeah,
every
you know
year.
you know that Daff was like clicking, like double clicking on it, just saying enhance.
Ooh.
Daft doesn't realize that you don't need to say enhance when you tap on it.
You do though. It speeds it up.
You do.
It's an important part of the process.
All right, what are other people doing before you go for your presumably starting off as a reconnaissance adventure with the possibility like reconnaissance asterisk adventure?
So like frat houses always have something broken, right? If we're gonna just prepare for something to go down, do we just wanna, you could put on your, what is it, the minotaur or something, the something Natar.
The bear centaur.
The bear
can get a.
centaur.
I can be a minotaur.
Whichever one you want to put on, you could put you in the back of the pickup, tarp over, drive over. I could just say I'm there for repairs. I don't know if I can get Daff in there without it seeming weird, but like maybe.
What does that mean?
I
Why
just
would that
don't
be
know
weird?
if they would look at the two of us. Like, why would you, as an older lady, like we could get you an outfit. Do you want a carpenter's belt?
Obviously, yes.
Okay, all right. So maybe we could pretend that we're all the other three of us are part of
Oh,
the repair business, and
I'm the intern, obviously.
yeah, the intern. You could be the owner. What if we upgraded you?
I like the sound of this.
Okay, all right. I'm glad. Yeah, cool. We don't need to go further into that and any potential power trips, I think.
yeah, boss person Daff.
They have not even thought about the power. They're just thinking about memes.
Oh, incredible. Great. I'm so happy for
So many boss babies.
that.
That is the real success in life, is memeing.
Yeah. All
No, I
roads
could come
lead to
in
meeting.
as a human. I can come in humanoid. It's like this form. I just need to put some stuff in the back. I got my, in the back in the shed where the bigger stuff is at.
I actually have like a above board like a player to player question. What happened? Like, can Big Girl inhabit synthetic costumes? Like, what happens if Big Girl goes into a mascot costume?
As long as I can sew it, I can be it. Like if I wanted to be a big daddy, kind of like from BioShock, I can be that.
Oh, anything with a closure?
As long as I can sew it, like with my thing,
Oh yeah, it does
like
have
with
like
my
a
power, yeah, it
ooh.
makes flesh looks like it's real.
I hate that in the best way. Amazing.
Mhm.
I will say the potential of like Big Earl being the Crossroads College mascot because it's also a fucking
I
two-headed
totally
fish.
prove it.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's at the frat house.
I want to do that now, but like maybe we don't because maybe that's not feasible because
I
that's
mean,
not where we're going. But if that happened, it'd be so funny.
how fast could I make a costume? And if it's a frat party tonight, I could be in there.
I'll be honest, I think that like you might have better luck just trying to like steal slash borrow it from the college because they probably do just have like copies of the mascot outfits. Or you could like it's like not like you could try making one, but consider instead you could just get the original.
Yeah,
It is
and
a
then
cult frat
also,
too. It's a jock frat, so they probably do have somebody in the mascot costume. Like if I don't know if they're having a
Oh,
party,
like living there.
but oh yeah, maybe it's just there.
Very possible.
Fribo energy.
Okay, I'm realizing there might be a little bit of a wrench in my plan, which is that at least a couple of them have been to the haunted house a couple of different times, which isn't a problem for Big Earl or for Max, but for myself and possibly Daff, we might be a little recognizable. I mean, do we want to switch gears here and maybe you're going to talk to them about the art collaboration thing?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they would care personally though to talk about it, to plan about it. I think they would care if it was like if they signed up, then okay, they care. I don't know how to get them to.
I think if we mention fake blood enough times, do you think they'd be interested?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Well, then we'd have to have the pizza with us at the moment. So
Oh,
we're trying to get
We could ask
inside, right?
Asha for a huge favor. Yeah, I think so.
We're just. Ooh, wait. We're just trying to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
Max is kind of like looks at the particularly heavy statuette, considering just like throwing it in a window. She doesn't say that out loud. She doesn't like make any indication of it. She doesn't even laugh. It's just me laughing. She just kind of looks at it. She looks so calm and
Elliot.
normal.
Elliot, I have a question.
Okay.
So on my character sheet, my what do I want? I had to be so adored for my memes that helps me achieve my final form, which is extremely vague. How has my meming been going?
Oh, I do think it's going quite well, especially because you've been in this weird like TikTok like rivalry now with K-pop Badger, which is really,
It's true.
boosting your numbers. Like, you're not only doing your own memes, but you're now featured in like other people's memes. So that's pretty powerful. Like that's pretty strong.
Okay. Would you say that it's possible that I have like fed enough from this mimetic energy that I would be able to like repair my projector that was damaged whenever I landed here? That kind of kept me trapped in this old lady form.
I think that we could count it as like almost a magic roll. So you could roll a d6 and you would tell me like what you're trying to achieve. So if you're like, I want to look like, XYZ, right? And then roll a d6. And then depending on what you roll is how well your projector actually like manifests that image, right?
Okay.
So what are you trying to do? Yeah.
I think. I think that Daff would look to everyone else and say, "Frat bro or mascot?" With no
Max is
context.
upstairs. Max doesn't chime in because she's upstairs. Wait, she's downstairs. Clarity said that she did something. She's downstairs again. She says frat bro. I'm confused.
As she comes downstairs, no context. Frat bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
are you going to turn into this frat bro?
Possibly.
When do you start making costumes?
It's not a costume. It's my technology.
Oop, you lost Earl, Big Girl at technology when you said that.
Yeah, especially because this is like even more advanced technology.
Mhm. Like I know the concept of like maybe changing into different kind of skins, but you're talking to us at digital? That is not Big Girl thing.
Big Girl's still an analog,
Yeah.
I go in. I make it and I go in and that's it. I just say frat boy, I think Big Girl says.
And then just looking to Jack for the final vote.
Uh, who am I to throw a wrench into the tides here? Go for it, frat bro.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay, so a 4 means that you get exactly what you want. So please describe what Daff thinks a frat bro looks like.
They've seen enough memes that this is like you know what? Very much like the like edited Chad, like the huge ridiculous chin, like really bad stubble, uh like uh like borderline military haircut, and then just like the thinnest little straps on the tank top. Very muscular, um some kind of like probably not even like sensible words, just like nonsense, random words thrown
Rap
together.
polka.
Yeah, like I hate to invoke it, but it sounds like kind of what like an AI version of a frat bro looks like. It doesn't know how
Yes,
to do words.
100%, 100%.
Oh no, I hate to invoke it. I'm so sorry to put that on you, but this is what I'm imagining.
No. I mean, it's not like perfect because they don't really understand humanity, so they're still trying to like figure it out, and they're trying to understand humanity through memes, which is not. Mm, it's not the worst way to do it, but it's not the best either.
I am picturing, and you can obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but I am picturing the full, like, the tank top is like that hot pink from the meme, and then like the basketball shorts are like light blue. Um,
Yes,
yeah, and then there's like tennis shoes, the really tall socks, just the
oh, of
full
course.
full experience.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but they're like white socks because we got to get the trans colors in there.
yeah. Is this a diversity win? I don't know if we should have taken this one.
Diversity win. Your AI generated frat bro is just
Transcoded.
I mean, realistically, this is an alien who has been uh, passing as human, so who knows? Who knows what their actual gender identity is?
True. So, but yeah, the other three of you see in front of you the new, we're not going to say improved DAF, but certainly the new DAF is in front of you. And this would be the first time that they've been able to use their holographic technology in about the year that you've known DAF.
Max is a combination of yelling, and we've already established Max can't really scream high pitch. She's got like a ah, which is actually canon to me. When I'm genuinely scared, that's what I sound like. She's doing that, but she's also like laughing through it. Just tears. It's like making noise in response to the absurdity of transforming in front of her.
Yeah,
Big
there is a
Girl.
moment. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was go ahead.
I was gonna say there is a moment where like Daft just is fully their full alien self, which I think you all kind of know. Like I don't know that you've seen it necessarily, but you kind of know there's something not human going on under there. So it's like just a couple of seconds, and then yeah, just like pixel by pixel builds into this Chad.
That's what does it. That's the scream, and then the Chad like dial-up internet. and then the laugh. That's where the laughter is
Line
coming
by line.
in. So
Yes.
that's the scream and the
Yes.
laugh is from that.
Good thing
Yeah,
you didn't
it's
run out of ink.
good.
Who said they didn't?
It's true.
You know, that kind of ink maybe.
I think Big Earl is very like first like weirded out, and then they look at you, Daff, and they're like impressed. Like they don't know how you did it, but they are just like walking around you, like trying to see like, oh, like how it's done. I think they're like they want to touch, but they don't. And they're like, oh, this is so beautiful. This is wonderful.
Daff is like, no, it's okay. It's okay. You can touch. I'm also what is the word? Retconning. That it's like partially a hologram, partially 3D printed.
Very close to Earl's Big Earl's way. Small teared eye, impressed.
The girl's like, Max is still just scream laughing. It's wild.
And it's just like smoky kind of like tear. Cause you know how like liquid smoke, that's what's coming down Big Earl's tear ducts. Cause you know.
Like liquid smoke, the like seasoning you use when you don't actually want to smoke something, or
There was an episode
But-
of South
but it
Park
ain't-
that
it-
happened to somebody, and they had milky tears.
You know, graveyard tears. You know, the dirt. Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
I do also want to say, Daff, in your head, like Daphne is just kind of going like, "What on earth is happening? Why do we look like this now?" Just this like old woman screeching in your head, Max IRL screeching in front of you, like.
Yeah, to be fair, this is now an old woman in a young man's body.
In an alien.
Yeah.
A stretch,
Gotta have
like
the turducken.
stretch,
Yeah.
like stretched into the form, printed, silk screen.
The old lady turducken has gotten more complicated, and I think
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
we'll move on from that mental image real fast.
Ooh.
So yeah, Big Earl, is there anything Big Earl and Jack, is there anything that the two of you are doing specifically to prep for going over to the Alpha Sigma frat house?
I think I'm gonna gather up some invasives. We could probably use some. I mean, I assume that I would probably want to use. I could use seeds, but I assume having some like something that is a bit more annoying could be good if I need to grow it on a larger scale.
Um,
Definitely probably also keeping my whole tool belt this time.
I was gonna just say, Big Earl says to Jack that you still can do your plan as someone coming in. Now Daff is something else. You just need a good costume.
Yeah, I mean, I usually do let my full hair down, so to speak, on haunted house nights. So I keep the more casual look. I don't know. Maybe if I also just switch out my normal color palette for something a little simpler. Hair, they usually it's the like face scarves and stuff for construction. I don't usually bother with them, but I could do that.
Let me see. Let me see what my power is. Can I make an outfit for Jack with my sewing ability? Just in general, like a regular outfit, like a construction kind of bro, and then make a outfit also for Daft too, because like they still could do the plan basically, just a frat bro version of a construction person.
I would say that I'll say that you are capable of sewing and constructing outfits at probably a rate that is inhuman due to your magical ability. So even if the outfit itself doesn't have like a magical influence, like you're just very fast at it. That being said, it probably for two outfits for two individuals who are much different sizes and builds, it probably would take you until like this evening or tonight to finish that. Um, I would say probably we'll say that actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you choose. One of the four of you can roll a d6 for me right now. You're aiming for a six, like you want a high number on this.
I'll do it.
All right, let's do it.
2.
Okay,
I knew I was gonna
so
regret that.
so the good news is that a couple years ago, you guys did a haunted house that was themed very like city haunted house, and one of the scares was a construction worker who had like gone like nuts and like started killing people with a jackhammer. So you have a construction worker outfit. Question dot 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 question mark. It's covered in fake blood. So you're pretty sure Daff would fit it. Like it's built pretty big. And you're pretty sure Daff would fit it even in like their new Chad form. But it's kind of old and it is covered in dried fake blood.
I pull it out and I show Jack, and I explain the plan. What does Jack say?
Well, okay, so that could be useful. Um, we might need to adjust the plan though. I mean, you could say it's a Halloween costume. I don't know if we could actually go with the full. Uh, I mean, maybe we could just still go with the construction crew sort of thing if you wanted, and you could just be like, "Yeah, we're getting into the spirit."
I
What if
think
we just let Daff walk up and knock on the door and try to make friends with people and then capitalize on the pandemonium?
How do you feel, Daff, about blending in? Like, could you walk with purpose and just be like, I totes belong here, and just like wander around, walk inside sort of thing? Or would you rather do something else?
I feel like Daff just like starts walking around almost like they're on a catwalk, and then it's just like,
Yeah, 100%. That change nothing. Like Max is gunning for everybody is like preoccupied with Daff, and then they just kind of like pew, into the open door.
Oh, hey, if you're gonna do that, would you mind oh, what would the best seeds for this be? Ideally, sunflower seeds are real easy to be like, yeah, it's just a snack. Um, mm,
I mean, people don't usually search you for like if you just have seeds, that's fine. You can just have seeds.
yeah, but I'm hoping that maybe we can get some thrown around in opportune places. Um,
I mean,
like
over the
maybe a
table.
window or
I don't think that making a mess in a frat house is going to be noticeable.
Yeah, I was gonna say over the table. I feel like if nothing else, then they could just say it's weed. Because would
What,
the frat
seeds?
bros really know what those seeds look like? Or
Yeah.
would they just say it's a seed
Oh, like actual like plant. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the seeds. What? Why? Wait, huh?
You could
Maybe
also
you're
fill
trying
my
to
body
start a
up with.
garden.
Seeds for
Wait,
planting.
what?
Throw your what? There's a lot happening. Throwing bodies, seeds with seeds.
If you need a lot of worth of seeds, you could put it in my body. I can carry it
Okay.
around,
Good looking
and
for
spit it
Batman.
out. I won't spit it out. That made me too obvious. I why I'm
Unless
thinking
it
Well,
was
if
a
we're
of
sunflower
also
seed.
taking you with us as a bear centaur or minotaur or whatnot, then I don't know if you'll be hanging around the front anyways, you
above
know?
above table, I'm coming as a human, but in the pickup truck
Okay.
bed, I will want to have the bear tar
Okay,
kind of
got it.
body
Got it.
over it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
imagine that when Big Girl is not in the like bear tar outfit, it does kind of fold up almost like like a camping tent, right? Like it can just kind of fold up, like surprisingly small. Those things pack down, okay? Like they pack way down. So I am picturing like yeah, you just fold it real like intelligently so that it doesn't have any
Mhm.
bits that are falling off or anything.
Mhm.
Um, it still probably does have to like get put in the back of the truck, if anything, just because it still weighs a lot, probably.
Yeah, I think what Big Earl is going to do is going to ask Jack to back up the car into the back shed, and I'll have like a huge tarp. So my bear tarp. First, I want to bring out a dog just in case. Do a Doberman, so we could do kind of like a uh not Silent Hill. Not Silent Hill. Resident Evil kind of moment. Dog jumping through the window kind of moment, that'd be cool. And maybe a smaller like the rat again, just in case. But when you slide into like the back room, into the shed, you slowly hear like heavy feet of like this is in daylight, right? So I think let's say you moved it really back in so no one can know the secrets, the magic back there. And as you like back it up and Big Earl is moving it, you see a massive body of a brown grizzly bear. Torso up is a nondescript kind of body, humanoid, and fingers made out of bone of like the deer feet and everything, and it holds up its own head as a like a deer heads with human eyes. That's what we have going in. That was last year theme. That was last year
That was
theme.
last year's thing.
Yeah, that was last year's theme.
You built a
Yeah.
corn maze in the back, like, and just people just got chased around by this
Yeah,
creature.
it's just running around. You just hear like the elk mixed with the grizzly sound together, and
No,
then
that's
that
actually wild. That's horrifying. That's just that's terrible.
you hear the high pitched sound of like the elk, and then also the growling of like a bear. And I step into it because it's very light. Even if it's big, it's very light. And then I smoke out of it, and it compiles down, like crumples down into the back.
Kind of like you ever see like an air mattress that's deflating? I'm picturing the kind of just deflates a little bit.
Nasty.
And I just do smoke thumbs up to Jack covering up the stuff.
Yep. Yep. That's good. That might need a second tarp.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get one. I think Big Earl goes over there and just get another one to tack on it real
Yeah,
tight.
yeah. Yep.
Put some of
Yep.
your tools over it too, just in case.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So with I was like your gear loaded, your equipment I don't even know how to describe that one. All of your various accoutrements picked and put into the truck or pockets or other forms of transportation. You all load into the truck. I'm picturing the four of you kind of squeezed up in the front of this like pickup, you know? The one just like the one big bench like in the front and everything.
There's two parts. It's one of those. It's one of those four-door trucks.
Oh,
It
that's
may be
fancy.
old as shit,
Okay.
but we
That's
made
a
sure.
nice one. There's no seatbelts for everyone. The AC works. No, okay.
No,
nobody's-
the seatbelts are hit or miss, but everything else is fine.
Okay, that's pretty nice. Honestly, like AC working, like that's like up there. Like especially the old vehicles. I'm just saying. So you guys all pile in, and Daff like provides the address. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that no one lets Daff navigate. Like that happened once, and like to the grocery store, it was like a bad idea.
I feel attacked right now.
Also, we
Canada.
remember last time they disappeared at the school, so that's another thing.
I feel attacked again. I don't know why.
But yeah, so the Alpha Sigma frat house is not like on campus. So campus is like basically like as south as you can kind of get in the city limits, and the frat house is in kind of a suburb that's a little bit of like southwest of in the city limits. The house itself is quite old. It's probably been in possession of the college for quite a while. It's been through a lot of different iterations. It wasn't always a frat house. Now, even just as you drive like up to the front, you know, even before you get out of the truck and everything, you can see that Alpha Sigma has definitely settled in here for however many years they've called this place a home. There is a beer pong table out in the front lawn with the grass like growing, twisting up the legs of the table, like almost trying to reclaim this like piece of wood. The front porch has a number of um those red solo cups that haven't been cleaned up for whatever the last party was, and you can just see like the paint's kind of peeling. The windows are cracked and dirty, and overall it's just kind of a rundown mess. I would say as you're pulling up to it, it's it does look like there are currently people in the house. um no one's probably outside because it's afternoon. um it's still a little bit too early even for them to be playing beer pong, we'll say, um during like a weekday and everything. I know I see Allegro be like disagreeing with that.
I used to live on a row. I used to live on the row. I simply
We'll say for whatever reason they're not yet playing beer pong out on the lawn. But there definitely are people inside. You could hear like the faint sound of music coming from inside. There's lights on. It is 2 stories, so there's like the porch, the first floor, and then you can see a second floor. Um, there's a few cars outside, but it is also like on a street filled with other houses. So maybe like it's hard to tell. Like the whole block is like lined with cars. There's a lot of people who live in this area. But as you go ahead and pull up, find a parking spot, you are welcome to do as you wish.
I think Daft just gets out. Probably was sitting like in the window seat anyway, because they're quite large, and uh, just like walks right up as if they own the place. Just like opens the door, walks in.
Yeah, and honestly, I was even gonna say I don't think the front door is locked. So unless someone stops you, Daff, yeah, you go ahead, or like one of these three stop you. You go ahead and walk up and go inside. The first thing that hits you is the smell. It is this great pungent mixture of cheap body spray, liquor, just general alcohol smell, and weed, of course. The trifecta.
See.
Now, I hate to ask this. What shoes are you wearing?
Ooh. You know what? I think probably some Hey Dudes because they're very like meme worthy.
Okay. Uh, for someone who's not connected to me, what do these look? Are these like sandals?
No, so they're like kind of almost like a moccasin. I
Okay.
forget. I live in like not quite a rural area, but like rural enough that like concrete
Oh,
is
oh, those are.
unpopular.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So
I
yeah.
personally I think that they're atrocious looking, but people love them for whatever reason.
They look comfy, but they also look like shoes my grandpa used to wear.
It's like Crocs.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like people say they're comfy. I'm never gonna put them on my feet.
Now,
I
hey, we
do.
don't have to dot Crocs, okay? I got my
Um,
first pair last year, and honestly, no regrets.
I'm so
They
happy
got you
for
too. They
you.
got you too.
I will say I love Rain being like, these are the shoes I'm wearing. Side note, I don't like these shoes. This is not a sponsored stream.
Yeah,
Um,
please don't give me money to sponsor or to do anything for them. I'll pass.
if you put the code B Monsters into your first purchase, you'll get 5% off. No, uh,
You have to pay an
You'll
extra
pay
5%.
5% more.
more. Yeah. But anyway, so Daff, as you are walking in, so there's kind of, like just an entryway. You can see that there are stairs to go up to the second floor. More like a living room kind of area, and then kind of more like a dining room, study room sort of mix of the two, and then the kitchen. Um, there's a it's an unused rack that's definitely supposed to be for shoes. Everyone has just put their shoes on the like floor, basically. And as you are stepping, you kind of hear this weird kind of like noise, and it takes you a moment to realize that your shoes are sticking to the floor.
Honestly, that 100% tracks.
Um, but yeah, no one seems to be immediately in your vicinity, or no one has like come downstairs to like demand who you are or something. Um, so you can explore more of the first floor. You can go up to the second floor.
What's kind of the vibe I get from the second floor? Is that like seemingly like the residential, like where people would be sleeping or what have you? Um,
Yeah, so you can see up on the second floor is more there's kind of like, stairs up, and then just kind of half wall, so you can kind of see that there is like a secondary hangout space up there. It does look like there are more rooms. You can see there's like a bathroom that's got the door open, and if you listen very carefully, you can hear kind of that faint rumble of a dryer. So presumably there's some kind of like laundry ability upstairs.
mm, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll start upstairs and work my way down.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and let's just roll me a d6. We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see if you run into anybody.
It's a 3.
Okay, so as you are walking up the stairs in this hangout space here, there's kind of an old Xbox, and somebody is playing like Call of Duty, uh, and they kind of glance in your direction, but don't. They just kind of give you, like a nod, and then go back to playing. You've been, we'll say you've been spotted, but not like alerted. No one is making a ruckus of your presence here. Um, on this floor, as kind of previously mentioned, you can see that there is a bathroom, there's several closed doors, and then there is like a space that seems like it is like a laundry room of some kind.
I think just like casually, not in a way that expresses actual interest. Daff is just like, "What's your KD?" to the person who's playing COD.
Uh, I think the person's just like, bro, I'm getting my shit fucking rocked right now by this like fucking 13-year-old or something. Fucking sucks. They're fucking wall hacking right now. Ugh. And does kind of just like a little angry, like,
Right. Yeah, Daff is just like, "Bro," and doesn't actually like say anything constructive and just
bro,
keeps walking.
fuck. Yeah. Keeps walking. All right. Yeah, it's a pretty like the space itself is not particularly huge. You quickly would figure out there's probably like three closed doors up here. So three rooms that you haven't checked out. The others, again, bathroom, laundry room.
And then, Jack, did you give Daff seeds?
Yeah. We'll say it's probably a mix of stuff. Uh yeah, I'm gonna say some like sunflower seeds, some stuff that just smells absolutely rank when it grows. And then some stuff that's like more like grows some really tough vines and such.
Absolutely. I think that Daff would probably go to the bathroom, knowing that that's where, like, at least upstairs, you're more likely to find liquid to therefore grow these plants.
So you go ahead into the bathroom, and it is incredibly humid in here. It doesn't look like it gets aired out very well. We're not going to talk about the sink. I'm just going to let you fill in the blank there.
I was gonna say I lived in a dorm, a freshman dorm specifically. It was fucking disgusting.
I mean, bringing
Not
back
even the
unpleasant
smell.
memories.
Yeah, not even the smell, just the things. Nope.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You do see like several probably like half-finished joints that just, someone was like getting high up here and then like just didn't finish that thought. Um, where exactly do you want to put the seeds?
Mm, hmm. What's the bathtub slash shower situation?
It is one of those tubs that's like built into like the wall floor, right? It's not like a freestanding
Mhm.
one. It does have a shower head and like a curtain. It probably hasn't been cleaned in like 4 years.
That's fine. Yeah. I think that they're going to just like run the water kind of low, flip the little thing so that the water doesn't drain out, and just like at least a decent percentage of the seeds, not all of them.
Okay.
Just gonna dump them out into the tub.
And I think as you are doing that, uh, you do like you manage to get the seeds in there and feel pretty confident about the spread that you have selected. Um, I you didn't close the door behind you. It didn't sound
That is
like.
correct. Yeah.
Okay. So you do hear someone kind of like bang on like the open door and be like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing in here?"
Uh, Dude, privacy.
You left the door open.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, but if you're gonna like take a whole shower, like close it so you don't have to see you like swinging your dick around. Are you new? I don't think I've seen you around here before.
yeah, I'm new. I just transferred.
Yeah? You when do you do your pledge and everything?
Oh, at my old school.
What's your old school?
Just the first thing that comes to my mind is like Alpha Centauri.
Is that the first thing that comes to Daft's mind?
Yes, yes. Which it
roll
sounds Greek enough, like the Alpha.
roll 2d6 for me as Daft is trying to pull one.
What could go wrong? That's 6.
Okay. The person you're talking to is just kind of like squints at you, and I think you kind of have this moment where you're just like looking at each other, and you can get the sense that like he's pretty sure that you're bullshitting him, but he's not quite ready to fully confront you, mostly because you look like you bend steel beams for breakfast. And so he just kind of is like, yeah, well, you should probably figure that out before Alex gets back. And close the fucking door when you're doing your shit. And kind of leaves and like slams the door behind him.
Perfect. That's where you're wrong, Chanel Lee's. Memes can melt the steel beams.
So that means that like leader boy isn't there, right? Or like not leader boy, alumni bruv. Right? Alex was the older one who for some
I
reason
do
was still
not
hanging
remember
out
that.
with them.
As
Yeah, I
one
think you're
does.
right. Oh wait, I think I wrote that down. Did I close my notes? I did.
Because there were two
Alex
prominent
is
ones we
Alex is
got told
three.
about. It was
Mhm.
Alex and then Ty. And Alex
Mhm.
was the older one.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's got a lot of sway here for some reason. I mean, we kind of knew that already, but like random frat bros are also like leader.
Yeah. I think with the door shut, Daft just like texts Jack, probably like a gif of the aliens from Toy Story.
uh,
And then also, yeah, and it was like, Alex isn't here.
Oh, okay. Mm. How do we want to go about that? Do we think we should just I could try if Daff is planting seeds, I could try to overgrow parts. I could start trying to like go through the walls and shit, or we could
Max wants to know how easy it was for Daft to just waltz in there because she's if confidence is all it takes to just walk in and seem like you belong, like you know somebody in there, she's gonna take a crack at it too. She wants to get in
I
the
mean,
basement.
Is Maxime like looks like they're college age?
Max looks 25. She could pass as a master's student. Maybe somebody's like she's hoping that she can play looking for a romantic partner or sexual partner in there, like wandering around like, I know he told me he was going to be here and I need to talk to him today, like pissed off and nobody really wants to interact with her because she's just like walking around, that kind of energy.
I mean, this is very much over the table, but you could always have Daft be the person you're looking for.
That's true. In a pinch, for sure. Like we need to dip.
Yeah.
Like I found you. Let's go.
Yeah.
For sure.
I
Did
think
you find the way into the basement? I'm just gonna check in with real fast with Beth on that.
Yeah.
Daft just sends ... Doesn't say anything else.
I want to imagine that the bathroom, it doesn't have a big window, but it has like one of those tiny frosted windows. And I want to think that if Daff really tried looking out, you could see the street where Jack's car or Jack's like truck is parked. So Daff is about as opposite from any basement entrance as you can physically get right now.
Yeah, and I think that Chad Daff is probably pretty tall.
I want that silhouette to be visible from the car so bad.
Yeah, as you guys are looking at the car or at the house, one of you is probably like, does that silhouette look familiar in like the bathroom up there?
Max goes inside.
It's a giant
I'd
chin.
recognize that terrifying chin anywhere.
All right. Yeah,
I
Big Will,
think
what's up?
I was gonna say, for me and Jack, I could pretend to be your assistant if you would want to go to the back and pretend maybe that you're here for a problem, quotation marks over here, to check in the back. Maybe that we can go back there and just um say that maybe it was a broken window or something that you from school. Something. So you can plant some more seeds. Question: is there like a back? Like, is it because you know how sometimes when there's like a row of like fraternities, their houses are very stick together. Is it a standalone by itself, or is it like multiple houses down together?
I, no, that's a good question. I think that this is technically a standalone. They do have like a fenced-in yard. Um, Judging by like what you've seen around in the other houses, it's probably not a very big yard. There's and from like what you can see, um, you can't see the yard itself, but it doesn't look like there's like a shed or anything in the back, for example. It's probably not big enough for like a swimming pool either. But there is a backyard. And while I imagine Big Earl talking to Jack about this, Max just unbuckles seatbelt, gets out of the car, and heads into the house. And much like Daft, the first thing that hits you is just the smell. It's rough. You're just far away enough from like when you were last in a college environment that you're like, I forgot what this was like, and it is hitting you all over again. And you too also notice as you are starting to like explore the first floor that at least in the parts that are like tile or like the linoleum, there's some carpeted areas, but at least in the tile and the linoleum, your shoes are sticking to the floor.
She goes in immediately. It's just like, and then starts like looking for stairs. Like she doesn't want to. She's making the point of looking a little bit pissed off, and she's looking, but she wants to look like she's looking for something because that's what she's doing. She doesn't want to look like she's trying to sneak around because that's more suspicious than obviously having an objective. And then she wants to look at those stairs and get down to the basement as quick as possible.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Okie pokey. I'm gonna roll the big one. One.
Okay, so as you are looking around, you almost immediately run into somebody who is like, actually, reading some kind of like school textbook in like, this area that is probably the cleanest in the house. It's just like a kind of mostly cleaned off table with like seats around it and some like comfy chairs and stuff, some kind of like study area. And the dude kind of like looks up at you as you like walk into the room, and he's like, do you need help or something? You
um
lost? Your car broke down or something?"
Immediately in the moment, like she was going to go for like partner, but she thought of something else. Just like something about the way she was asked that question, the word help, she switches into like, do you know Tashawn. She looks worried. I'm looking for
Uh,
Tashawn.
sorry, like Dashawn? The guy kind of like leans over the table, like
No, Tashawn.
Tashawn.
Yeah.
Uh, no. Does he live here?
Yeah, he's supposed to. I gotta find him. Sorry, I can't really. If you, God, my phone doesn't even work. I can't even give you my like. Look, I'll be out of your hair. I just really need to find my brother. And she's like, skedaddles.
Hold on, and then you can hear like the chair, like, moving back as the guy kind of gets up and is like, following you into, I presume, like a different room.
Mm.
So you go into, we'll say the next connected room is a like dining room kitchen area. You can see here in the dining room there's a door that leads out to the like yard, the backyard. Um, yeah, it just leads out to the backyard. It's overgrown. There's more like party remnants out here and stuff. One of those like folding tables that probably usually has like a beer keg or something on there, but it's during the day, so they've at least like cleared up some evidence of the partying and everything. The kitchen is also a biohazard zone. Don't open the fridge. But as you're like, walking into this room, the guy from the first room's like, I mean, like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know all the members of the frat. That name doesn't sound familiar. You sure you got the right house? There's a couple others on the street.
I'm pretty sure. You but you said did he maybe his name is Tashawn. Did you misremember his name? You said you knew a Deshawn and not a Tashawn? And
I mean,
she's moving. She's not
yeah,
stopping to talk. She's like scanning for stairs.
he's like kind of like, like, I don't want to be like hustling after you, but he is like following you with kind of the like concerned confusion. Some stranger has walked into his residence and is asking for somebody that he doesn't know. Um, and you um head into another room, and it is, well, I'll say this: you see two closed doors, in kind of the hallway. So there's stairs upstairs, and you're going to assume the entrance to the basement is not upstairs,
Hmm.
which is probably a safe bet. And there are two closed doors, in front of you. Uh, let's say left and right. Which one are you going for?
Max doesn't want to go for either of them because that's bold, but she does anyway. Goes for the right one because she's right-handed.
Okay.
Wait, is she? I might have made her left-handed, but I don't care.
She's right-handed in this moment.
Yeah, sometimes I do
Uh,
that for fun, but
yeah.
right-handed.
And as she goes to open the door, can you roll a d6 for me?
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see it. It's another one. Oh no, this one's on timeout. Okay, there we go.
So it does open, and it is someone's room, and you immediately hear moaning and like.
Oh, she slams the door. So many cusses, and then she just kind of like she tries to tap into set the stage energy, because now there's sound happening. It's analog sound, but there's sound effects, and it's awkward, and she just slammed the door, and now she can't act for shit. But she's going to act like that is pushing her over an edge to her to get really upset. um and she wants to change the so to read the actual thing, it says set the stage, special effects and soundscapes do wonders to set the mood and change how other people think and feel. So she wants to like capitalize on those audio cues and make this person like more bought in to helping her versus figuring out why she's there and like challenging the fact whether or not she should stay there, and then goes to the left door. I don't know if that's a two-turn thing or a one move
Let
thing, but
Yeah,
that's her intention.
we'll start with what exactly is she going to like say or do to try to convince the frat bro to like almost take pity on her at this point.
I think it's the desperation in her voice when she like says just a string of like many swear words, some English and some I don't know some other language. I would say like French, but I don't know if she speaks French. She's bilingual in some way. I don't know. Um,
She took some classes in college.
yeah. And but she genuinely seems to be embarrassed and upset um about well I won't say genuinely because like I said she can't really act. It's not her acting chops, it's the sounds. So the words that she's saying to cue in to connect the sounds to like a thought, to like a catalyst for that thought is just I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, oh my god, I'm so sorry, oh my god, and then going for the door. So she's trying to act pathetic
Okay.
and sad.
Yeah, I will say roll me 3d6 and
Ooh,
then give me the two highest. And while this is happening, Daff, you heard a door downstairs open and then shut very quickly, loudly, and then a lot of Max, because you obviously know Max's voice, like just I'm
mhm.
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
5 and a 7, 2. A
Five and a two,
5
which
and
is
a
a
7
seven.
is wild on a D6.
Alright. But then yeah, Daff, so you hear this as this is happening.
Yeah, Daff is going to like run downstairs and just be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
So I imagine what'll happen is you are running downstairs and you say, "Hey, how you doing?" As Max goes, twist the handle on the left side door, and it is locked.
Mm.
As Daff appears,
I think Max does not in Max's head, she goes bingo, and she wants to like clock, okay, internal structure of the house, windows. And then but she's still outwardly like pretending to be upset. Here's Daff behind her, turns around immediately. Have you seen Tashawn? Now she wants to try to be like, okay, I do know someone else in this house. She's trying to stack this narrative.
Yeah, I just saw him not that long ago.
Where?
Upstairs, I think.
Oh god, and she runs upstairs.
the frat bro looks at Daff and is like, Do you live here?"
Yeah, duh. Do you?
To you,
I,
it's
okay, I gotta sleep this hangover off or something. All right. And I think the guy will go back to his studying. But yeah, so Max, you can rush upstairs as Daff, you're still downstairs as the other door opens and a guy comes out who is like very clearly has just we'll say, pulled some pants on and everything and looks very flustered. And it was like, who the fuck was that? And Daff, you would probably recognize this as the Thai person, the TY person from the Instagram posts that you guys found like earlier today.
Yeah, I don't even know. No idea. Never seen her before.
Just people gotta learn how to fucking knock, dude. Okay, it just goes back into his room, slams the door behind him.
I think Max didn't actually want to do anything upstairs. She just kind of wanted to sell the frenzy of it. So she runs back down and then kind of like, drops some like things that kind of look like marbles. Like I was thinking about it, how big is the space under a door? And I definitely remember dropping marbles as a kid and them going under doors sometimes. So I think she has like maybe two, 2 or 3, what would they actually be? Because it can't just be marbles that have eyes on them. Because why would she make that? I think it's ooh, okay, no, because this is actually kind of goes into gameplay a little bit. She has 3 die that she made and then was like, oh wait, you actually have to weight them properly. And the 6th is an eye. So like,
Okay.
can I roll this? Like if it's a 6 eye, then I can see what's in the room a little bit, but like very like it's
Uh,
small, like
I
just
was gonna say like
a little
there
bit.
are the cat's eye marbles too.
Yeah, but like what I'm like narratively, I don't think. Ooh, wait, would that even be an
Like
eye?
cats or like
It's not
the
stone now; it's glass.
Yeah, it's like there's
Half and stuff.
You
glass.
could make like a stone version, like you were trying to
Yeah.
Yeah.
make like a
Could.
stone version of, or it could be like stone encased in glass. I don't know, maybe you dabbled.
It
Or like
could.
or like
But like these are things, these are scraps. Like she didn't make them recently. These are things that she's like pulling out of a box that narratively
Oh
would make
yeah.
sense
I
for
meant
them
like
to
in the
have.
past, like maybe as part of sculpture you dabbled in other mediums, but it could just be
I
stone.
mean,
Ooh.
like quartz is technically kind of a stone and a little bit like
Ooh.
glassy.
Yeah, okay. I guess she has some quartz marbles that have maybe she just has little they're like oh, maybe they're like different Pokemon eyes.
Oh.
Like it's cute, but they're like just disembodied eyeballs.
Yeah, we're not gonna worry too much about it. Yeah, we'll say that she has 3 of them.
Okay.
You can put them under. Are you doing them under the doors on the second floor?
She's come back down to where she was before with the 2 doors. I think she wanted to play kind of like oopsies and then drop them and throw them under the door, but seeing that it's just staff, I think she more intentionally scoots them out of the door and rolls them and
The one
is
that was
hoping.
locked.
Yeah, and I think she's hoping to hear them going down a set of stairs. So it's like it's not even just like I want cameras in there because they're round. It doesn't it depends on how they land. I think she just wants to hear did this go down?
Yeah. Um, the weird thing is you roll them down and you don't hear anything.
Hmm.
The room seems like it must be sound dampened or soundproofed in some way.
Hmm.
And with that thoughts, we're going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break there. And when we get back, we will continue the investigation of the Alpha Sigma frat house. So, yep, everyone take a quick 10 minutes, use the bathroom, get water, get a snack, grab popcorn and everything, and we'll be right back. Thanks. back to this town of ours where we are currently experiencing the true horrors of society, which is a college frat bro house or science experiment. Really, I feel like either descriptor could work for this house. But let's not uh let's not get too distracted or in the weeds here. Max and Daph, you two are currently inside the Alpha Sigma frat house. And Max, you have just put your I'm just gonna keep calling them eyeballs in my head. You put the little like marble eyeballs uh underneath one of the doors, this door that you found that was locked. And you didn't hear any sound from within, which, is implying that somehow it is soundproofed or dampened in some way. Um, there are several people aware that both of you are in the house. Your presence here is not like, hidden or surprised, but no one is actively chasing you out. Um, so, that being said, what would you two like to do?
I think upon okay, first of all, can you hear my pigeon through the microphone? A little bit? Okay. As long as
It's
it's not
fine.
like
It's just ambient noise.
okay, good, because he's so loud for me, and like as long as he's not loud for you, that's fine. Um um I think as soon as realizing she's not hearing any kind of or like going down anything or rolling or anything behind the door, she immediately for safety puts her hands over her face and like kind of like doesn't pretend to cry, but like kind of does like an exasperated like ugh, and her eyes go to snake slits, and she's trying to survey to see like she's expecting darkness, but she wants to get like a second sense on why does it sound weird in there? Why is it silent?
Yeah, and it is a little hard because I think we talked about it, and the only thing you do get is sight.
Yeah, only sight.
So it is just darkness.
Okay.
I think we can confirm there's no like secondary light source in here or anything like that. You can see it's this weird sensation of moving while you're not like physically moving.
That's what I was
But
gonna ask
as
next.
yeah, as the like marble, as the ball is like rolling, the slit that is the door
Hmm.
that your physical body is at, that is like getting it gets like small, it's like small, and then this weird sensation of it going, you have to realize it's you going down, the slit goes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's some kind of elevation change happening.
Bingo.
um but then it's just dark. Yeah.
Okay. She brings her face back up for like a split second. The slits are still there. She looks at Daff. Eyes go whoop, back like the pupils dilate back to normal. And she looks at Daff, goes, "That's the room. Let's go." And storms out. Um, what does she do as she storms out? I think she just makes loud noises of exasperation to make it like obvious that she has left and she's still on the mission to find her brother. It's not like she like suddenly changed her tone and like walked out or something. She is gone. Runs out of the not runs out, but like strides out upset out of the room.
Before Daff leaves, I think like roughly a quarter of the seeds were put in the bathtub. Uh, roughly half they're gonna dump under the crack, just like kind of shove them onto the door.
Okay. I'm imagining like dropping the seeds, then using your foot to kind of like push them
Yeah,
further. Yep. Okay.
yeah, and any that like don't quite go, they just like take their hand and just like poking at it.
The weird sensation of touching the floor is very deeply unpleasant experience.
Yeah, my hands are never not gonna be sticky now.
Yeah. Just dirt and grime. But you do manage to get the seeds underneath the door, and do you just follow Max out?
Yeah, I think I'm probably immune to most diseases now. Now that I've touched that floor.
And some that haven't been discovered even. But Max and Daph, you two make it back to the truck where Jack and Big Earl are waiting, probably with various levels of patience and anticipation.
Max immediately gives the intel of like finding that door, and she says that it goes downstairs, and she gives a guess that if there are windows, that they are blocked off completely, because there was not even a little bit of like daylight whispering in through like one of those basement like half windows. It was just a crack and then void as she like her like sight tumbled down into nothing. Or at least like like did I just not ask that question, Elliot? Like no, that okay, okay. That's her assumption. She didn't see anything but the crack. The crack.
So we didn't go into the backyard at all.
Max saw it.
Mm-hmm. Did they notice? Did
Really?
Mac notice
Were there
any?
people there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you mentioned when did
Yeah, so as you like were doing your like round through the first floor,
huh.
at one point you went into kind of like the dining room and like kitchen area, and that has a back door leading out to the yard, the backyard, and you didn't see anyone out there. Nothing like that particularly caught your interest or felt like particularly significant.
Mm.
Were there any windows that they saw? Maybe.
Um,
Max went straight out. I don't like she would have gone out to check for windows if she had a different story. But I think she beeline to the I don't know, like I don't know what the house looks like, but I know she beelined.
yeah, based on where like Max was, Max didn't go like out into the yard technically, so I don't
Mm.
think Max would have seen any like windows for like a basement, for example.
Does it look like we actually have to go through the house to get to the backyard, or does it look like there's like a side gate that is debatably actually locked or even has a lock on it?
There probably is a side gate, and also like the wooden fence. I was just like, if you had enough effort or willpower, you probably could cross in some manner as well if you like really wanted to.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking we just follow suit, look like we belong here, and say we're doing some work in the backyard. We got called in to do it, if anybody asks, even. Um, and while we're doing that, I could use that as cover for trying to, uh, well, probably two different things. I want to use the seeds to grow some stuff and cause some problems so that attention is maybe brought that way, and then see if I can do anything about those seeds to either break the door, or if there's some sort of like weakness in the foundation or the walls, or if there does happen to be a window that was just boarded up, see if we can exploit that way. That's kind of my only things I can think of to do right now, besides just barge in there and hack down the door.
How strong is Jack?
Decently. They've been doing construction for like 20 years.
I think Big Earl picks up the prop construction like like little bag thing. I don't know what it's called, waistband.
Oh,
Connects
the
it.
tool belt.
Yeah, the tool belt. It took me a while to get there. I was
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, let's go check on a basement in the back. There's a break, a accident that happened back there. And can I pick up something like something heavy, like
Like,
something? Do we have something that I can throw through a window?
Oh, I
Max
mean,
has a clay doll, a stone clay doll, like the Pokemon clay
Oh, I
doll.
also have
Because
a
she
tool
learned
belt.
that too. That there's probably have a heavy wrench in there, but she learned from like when they went to the journalism place, journalism place. and how like the eye was upside down. Clay dolls just have eyes all the way around their head.
I love that, like, I don't have to worry about it being upside down if it's just
Mhm.
eyes everywhere.
I say the Jack, as long as I have an entryway, a small enough entryway, I don't have to be in a body to get in. I'm a smoke. I'm a smoke. uh, a fireball, so I don't have to. I can look safely enough. If someone doesn't show up down there, I can try to hide. But other than that, I can go in there, but I won't
Okay.
have a body.
Right. I mean, so sorry. What are your capabilities while you're in that form without a body? Like what you could go in and look around, but could you do anything else, or is it just a look around situation?
It's pretty much a look around situation. I like one of my conditions is like they are vulnerable without being a body too long. So they like basically a smoke fireball with kind of limbs, but they could squeeze through it, but they can't really do anything. Like if there's something to fight down there, the only thing I could do is escape.
Right.
So
Okay.
you
So
don't have like a sunlight or a daytime limitation either?
not that I
Interesting.
know.
Yeah, not
Okay, I'm
that.
realizing there may be a difference in like the version of Asukinya from like
Oh
Trinidad
yeah,
and
I
versus
know,
of the
I
island.
know. Yeah, I
Cause
know
like,
that version, but like I had to edit it a little bit because there was a vampire. It was considered a
yeah,
vampire
a
witch,
vampire. Yeah.
but like I'm focusing more on the changing bodies and in the floating bodies. So
Okay.
that
So
version
you can
more.
be out of your body in
Yes.
daytime and not like, I don't know, die or something.
Yeah, die basically.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
So like basically I can get in there, but I am vulnerable. If if something or someone will see me, I could just leave. But like if someone has the ability to catch me, and I don't know the lengths of these white boys' ability to catch me, so I should be fine. I don't know what's down there though.
Yeah. So, okay. Here's my thinking is we have our tool belts. I
Hmm.
think also we probably have like the big the big ass like sort of
I like how we
trimmers.
try to
A
figure
chain
out.
cutter or a
No,
bolt
well, I mean
cutter?
that I mean it's like a bolt cutter, but for usually you use it on like branches and stuff.
Oh, like a
Um
pruning shears.
Oh,
it's
Pruning
very
shears.
similar. It's like I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
it's like the
okay.
same sort of thing.
Not
Um
pruning shears. Yeah. I
and then
forgot that.
Yeah, we can just go
consider
in.
we just have a chainsaw.
Hmm.
Roll a d6 for me.
Oh man. I have a whole tag about it.
Yeah,
I'm
for a
like,
chainsaw.
what are we chainsawing back there?
Well, I mean, okay, maybe not a chainsaw. Maybe chainsaw's not the right word, but
Like a saw, like a saw, like
well, because there's like the small saws, like the hand saws, and then there's like the
mm-hmm,
motorized saws that you also use for things like trimming and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones that look like big turkey carvers. Those guys.
Yeah, Sawzall. The Sawzall.
That's what it's called?
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
Well, if I'm still rolling, it's a 2.
Okay. I think that you definitely like I think you definitely have like a handsaw. Like that makes sense to me. We'll say that you have a very small chainsaw, but you check it and it is almost out of like fuel. So it probably won't last super long once you like turn it on and get it going.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think we just walk with a purpose towards. Maybe we
Walking
could
with a purpose.
start. We could start like trimming something near the gate first, but then we're just gonna. I think we're just gonna try to
I think we should just walk in. Truly,
inside the house. I was
not
gonna.
inside the house, behind the in the gate, so we could just walk
Yeah,
in.
it depends on if it's like locked or not. I guess if it's
Does it
locked, then we probably
matter?
have to do something about it. But
Okay.
I was like, does it matter if it's
Doesn't matter.
locked?
You know,
It's not. I mean, we're gonna break it. That's not the problem here. If it is.
my question is: are all four of you going, or just the two people who have not already been in the house?
Max has exited stage, car, truck. And now she's playing a game on her Game Boy Color. But she's gonna wait until like she's hoping, because I think they probably discussed it. She's hoping that Jack could probably break something or cause a disturbance that makes people go down there and open the door. So she's waiting for a cue of like, there's light now, look again.
Yeah. Well, I think we're trying to cause a disturbance away from the door. So
Okay.
so maybe get people's attention, like maybe fuck up the TV, maybe
Hmm.
whatever we can get to from
I
the
mean, we
like
got some seeds in the bathroom. We could fuck up
within
the
the walls.
toilet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
Literally fuck
whatever I
the
can do to mess with other parts so that if y'all want to walk back in and try to get in through the door somehow, like you can do that.
toilet.
Um I think in case of emergencies, we'll probably leave you with like a little hatchet or something. Uh just so yeah, I don't know. If we manage to get in from the back and we need y'all to come over. I guess theoretically the way we come in through the backyard will be open too, but
Yeah. We
I
can
don't
cause a
think
distraction itself, so we
I
can just
don't
go
think
in there.
mm, Max wouldn't take a weapon. If anything, she would probably use her magic to, or stone powers rather, to damage people.
fair enough. I'm
It would have
thinking more
it
about
would have
if you
to
need to
have
break down a door, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's my primary concern. I'm sure you can handle yourselves otherwise.
Could the seeds under the door kind of smash it up?
Possibly, I'm hoping
Okay.
for some variation of that, but I don't know if there's a couple different steps that are already have to happen, so I don't know if I'll get the ones to break the door quite yet.
Okay. I think Big Girl is ready to go. Like they're ready outside. Like
Yeah.
walk up to the
Pacing.
gate. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
walk up to the gate.
heading over to the gate, trim some stuff, see if it's open, trim
Yeah,
some
is the gate
stuff,
open?
break it open.
So Max and Daff watch as Jack and Big Earl leave the truck, technically, laden down with various gardening implements and such, and you kind of casually, make your way over to the gate, kind of, ooh, that's a little bush. Gotta trim that over there, and ooh, look at that. We're gonna prune that there. You try the gate, and it takes a moment, but you do manage to push it open and you have access to the backyard. Much like Max saw, it is overgrown, but other than that, and the fact that it's like kind of got some like various like litter, honestly, and nothing like necessarily immediately sticks out at you. You do see what looks like if you turn and like look at the house. You're in the backyard. You turn back, look at the house. Um, you do see the dining room that Max probably would have, told you guys about and everything. The sliding glass door that would lead further into the house. And it does look like there's, it's, the best way to describe it is kind of like, there's kind of like a fence um, alongside part of the back of the house, and it looks like it's got some kind of it's probably intended to be a fire escape to get out of the basement. So if there's a fire in the main part of the basement, or the main house and everything, but you're in the basement, you can like open a window, climb out into this like kind of like space and climb up this metal ladder to get out into the yard. That ladder is gone. It's just the fence now, and it looks like the windows are either covered in paper or painted or somehow blacked out. Um, kind of hard to tell from the outside looking in. Whatever it is, blacking that has happened on the inside. You're muted, Logo.
Yeah, muted.
I am. That's true. I'm used to looking at my the color of my mic to see if I'm muted or not. So every time I mute myself with a program, I confuse myself. I think we give it a solid 2 minutes of pretending we're actually doing any sort of trimming or gardening or inspection, and then I think Jack is just gonna. Oh my, I don't know. I think Jack is gonna try to put like hands to the wall of the house and try to use magic to basically grow a bunch of those viney seeds that I had that Daff threw down the pipes for me, and try to basically get them to overgrow in wherever they can reach. So ideally they mess up the bathroom, maybe they mess up the kitchen, depending on where the water pipes are, maybe they fuck up some electronics, like the sort of thing.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d6 for me. This is going off of
So I
that
have at least 2 different magic tags that apply here.
Oh, okay. Which two?
I have grow and I have root.
I'll allow that. Go
I'm
ahead
not
and roll.
gonna put I
Yeah.
don't think decay applies here. I'm gonna probably use that for something else later.
I agree with that assessment. So go ahead and roll 2d6 for me. Let me know what number you get.
Oh man.
And
3?
just keep the highest. Okay, so is it 3 total or the highest you rolls?
No, that's the highest.
Okay, perfect. So a 2 or 3 means that it was just okay and the spell has a lesser effect than you intended. So I will say that you do manage to coax these vines into manifesting and bursting forth, but rather than like a complete destruction of the plumbing system in this house, like a complete overgrowth, it is more subtle than that. So you can probably tell, because you are paying attention and trying to get this effect to happen, that there is kind of a slight shift in the wall almost. But you don't at first hear any sort of commotion, right? And you kind of have a delayed did it work? What happened? Something happened. And then you can hear from the inside someone shouting from the first floor dude, our sink's leaking. And you hear, there's muffled shouting coming as people are kind of discovering that there is leaking happening in the house, and it is a concern, but it's maybe not the catastrophic event that you were kind of aiming for.
I mean, I guess it's a distraction of some kind. Okay. Well, I think maybe give that a minute, and then I think I'm gonna pivot from trying to, because I was thinking of trying to get to the door inside and decaying that one. Maybe instead we're just gonna focus on this window.
Yeah.
Big Earl
Yeah.
looks like you have I say Big Satine looks like you have thoughts that Big Earl may also be having.
What's up?
If they're somewhere else upstairs, and the TJ person, the Thai person, did they come from downstairs? Were they coming from downstairs, or was it their room?
The first floor.
I think they were the door across from the basement
Mhm.
door, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I say, can you make a loud noise?
Why?
I'm going to barge through this window.
Oh, I mean, if you want to go for it, that's fine.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, I mean, that thing I did with the plumbing, I was gonna try to do but better to this window.
I think Big Earl is gonna go like this for you to go ahead and try, but I think Big Earl really wants to break down the window. Uh, this gives you your time because it's made
Well,
of
okay.
paper. Is it made out of paper? We could decay it, right? Like the outside of the window decaying.
I
the
think
window.
inside it's like painted over or like put paper or
Mm.
something is up inside.
Yeah, something on the inside of the window is blacking it out, so you can't see through, but you're not quite sure whether it is paint or another method.
Okay. And there's no ladder, right?
There's no ladder. You can
Mhm.
still try climbing down. The fence is locked, so you technically have to like unlock the fence and then kind of like hop down into whatever this area
Who needs
is.
a fence when you, or who needs a key when you have a giant, not bolt cutter.
Okay, is the ping
I
pong
think
table? Oh, go ahead.
no, go for it.
I said, is the ping pong table kind of covered? Like, is it like a very heavy ping pong table?
So the ping pong table is in the front. There is a folding table in the back. That's
Okay.
just kind of like anything you would get kind of cheap at like a Walmart or like Costco folding table.
All right. Can I take the folding table? Because I know there's no ladder, right? Can I position it like a slide and just zoom right in there?
Yeah, I think that you can finagle it as like a slide. Um, Jack, as you see, like Big Earl's kind of trying to get this like in place. Are you gonna help out, or you just?
Sure. I mean, no, you got to do it at this angle, or you're gonna like. I mean,
Okay.
you don't really need your neck. It's not. There's not really bones in there, but like
Yeah.
normally you would like break your neck or something. Here,
Yeah.
do this way.
I feel like at this time, Big Earl knows that they maybe be destroying their vessel, so they're going to like use this momentum to maybe. I'm just thinking of the eyesight of just seeing this mango body and
Because you said that in this moment, Max was just like, maybe I should check, and she's looking through the eyes.
I think I kind of situate myself like if Jack positioned it right. I would like to. I'll go feet first because I think it'd be a little bit better.
While this is
Momentum-wise.
happening, right before, I'm gonna be like, hey, Daff, can you and Max make some like really loud noise somehow?
Argue loud in front of it.
Set
Like,
off somebody's
lays into
car
the corn.
alarm. Set off my car alarm. Maybe not our car alarm because we have
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff in the back.
Yeah.
Set off somebody's car alarm.
Do you
Play some
specify
ratchet
not the
music.
car?
I don't know.
4, 3.
Specify not the truck in the
What?
text? Do you specify not the truck in the text?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. I was gonna say because if you don't specify,
I know,
Yeah,
Daff.
Max would just
I
be like,
gotta be careful.
you know, Max is the kind of person that, like, when she goes to sit in the car and no one else is there, she sits in the driver's seat. So, well, not Daff is there, but like the driver's not there, she's sitting in the driver's seat. What kind of noise? What do we do, Daff?
well,
Or
so
Jack, you could
because
slam on the door too.
Oh,
Okay,
screaming of like, where's Tishan?
well, so I was gonna say because I have the tag for haunt,
Mm.
I could try to either unleash Daphne, who notoriously cannot drive, or try to summon some other ghost, because it's already been super successful to cause chaos. But I feel like Daphne is the easiest and most logical.
I feel like Max is about to figure out how Daff keeps stealing her car key.
So Jack is, like texting like, the group chat, which I'm gonna be real honest, I'm picturing a group chat, but it's only the three of you. Big Earl is not allowed in this group chat. Like Big Earl's just not allowed near technology.
Max's phone is broken. It's just them two.
That's true. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's just Daff and Jack.
Every time there's a message sent to the group chat, there's always the could not be delivered.
Yeah. But Daff gets the Daff and Max get the instructions to make noise. Big Girl's like counting down in the corner. And Daff, you kind of focus in and you reach in and you can see kind of the intangible spirit of Daphne if you focus hard enough. And you just what do you tell her?
I just tell her that we need something from the store, and that car over there is the one to take. And just point at one that looks like it would be a good distraction, like one that looks
Mhm.
maybe expensive or shiny or both.
Perfect.
Can it be a
Roll me-
Tesla?
Yeah.
It's a Cybertruck. It's a
Yes.
Cybertruck.
Yes.
Roll me a d6 because it's kind of like
Okay.
your magic. Yeah.
That's a 5.
Okay. So you almost have you don't quite swapping places isn't the right way to think about it. You just kind of let Daphne take a bit more control than usual. And Max, you watch as she just goes over to this Cybertruck, which it's not even like a normal Cybertruck. It has like a military camo plating on it, right? They do like the wraps on it, so it's even
And
worse.
there's literally one like that in my area.
Free garbage trucks in your area. But you watch as Daff puts a hand on the door, and just somehow the thing turns itself on and just starts getting ready to do its driving thing. Daphne gets in the seat and no further ado, slams on the gas, slams right into the car in front of her, and just pushes that car into the next one. There's just those loud screeching car alarms going off. In the house, you hear someone shout, "My Cybertruck!"
I
Big
hope it's
Girl.
on fire.
It
I
finally
can
comes to a
slid
stop.
down in the seat
Just
and
like-
she's just going.
Big Earl in the back. You can hear the commotion happening out front. You go ahead and you slide down. Are you sliding down then? You just going for
Yes,
it?
I'm going for it. I'm going through it.
Yeah.
While they're doing that, can I try to I have no idea what it looks like in there, but can I try to grow some of the seeds in there to create a cushion? I don't know what's gonna happen to Earl just doing that.
Peace.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say go ahead and roll me a d6 for your growth, I guess. It's just or do I want to use root for this? Or is it just growth?
I would argue both. Why not?
Go for it then. Yep. So and tell me what the highest is.
4.
Okay. So you feel like something is growing down there now, whether it's in a useful place or not. Okay, so Big Girl, can you roll me 2d6 to see how well this goes? Let's start there. Let me know what you get. And don't worry, Daff, we're coming back to you in this mess in a little bit.
Too many windows. Too many windows. I got an 8.
Okay, 8 is perfectly good. So, what happens is this: you do slide down the table and crash through the window. I will leave it up to you how much you feel like you are affected by getting cut up by glass, because you have the weird sensation of you don't really, to begin with, you don't really have a working circulatory system the way that quote unquote normal flesh and blood living creatures do. So aesthetically you probably look pretty rough. Whether that actually affects your day-to-day functioning, dubious. you're going through a window and landing in a basement, and you you land half on top of kind of these like plants that have started growing, but it's still a concrete floor, and there is a very loud crunch still as you land. I don't know how much you want to say that Big Girl feels pain in the form either. We didn't really like talk about that. I will say that you do well enough that you do not like just break all of the bones in your body. But you do break your left arm, and so we'll say that you do not have much functionality in your left arm, and you look really rough. Like if just a random person saw you on the street, they would flag you down for medical attention. They would not let you go. Um,
Definitely like they don't really like the main function of their body is just a vessel itself. So it's like, okay, I have an arm now that's flapping. That's fine. As long as I can still walk.
okay, and now that you are down here, you can see that this is a basement. There is a door kind of almost directly across from you that has a series of steps leading down into the basement. This is what we would call creepy as shit. On the floor of the basement is this like red painted like pentagram with these weird runes that you can't read. Um, and like half melted candles placed at intervals around the outside of the circle. In the very center of it is what looks like bloodstains. And you can see on one end of the, we'll call it what it is. It's a summoning circle. One end of the summoning circle is a podium that honestly probably was taken out of some lecture hall, some kind of like office or lecture hall where it just wasn't being used. Um, and there is this like old book that's closed, sitting on top of the podium. But the most startling and concerning thing you do see is this old radiator off to the side of one of the rooms, and you can see uh, Carla, who is currently shackled to the radiator, and she like kind of is looking up at you, looking extremely alarmed at a stranger who has just crashed in through the window, is covered now in like blood with one arm like twisted kind of out of shape, but she looks alive.
And I know that, well, I don't know if it's soundproof. Did somebody say it's soundproof to me? Okay.
Oops. Yeah,
Um
but Max would have. Sorry, I muted everybody instead of me. I'm muting myself.
I see Carla is, do I get any, okay. I'm gonna try to rush to Carla and and say like, I'm here to save you. Um
Oh, um, okay. Are you all right? You look like you need.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Um are you good?
No.
Okay. So I question from the fall, do I lose my phone?
Um. Oh gosh, I'm gonna say you still have your phone, but the screen is cracked.
Oh, as long as I could just put the numbers in, I think I'll be okay. Cause you know how
Okay.
like they have
Okay.
that send number, the send thing that's green. So I go ahead and call Jack and say this is some robe activities. Carla is still alive. There's a big book in another room.
It's in your room.
Okay. I mean, is this one room?
Yes, it's like one room.
Do you need to
Um,
call me? I'm like right there where the fence and the window are, right?
I don't. I could walk over to you, but like walk. I'm still talking on the phone.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I'm going to hang up so I can go get our
Mm-hmm.
friends to bring us your change of clothes, maybe? potentially maybe we should have done that beforehand. As a backup and also to join us.
Yeah, do on my I think I kind of I'll see you soon. Hang up. Do I have anything on
Leave
my
it.
Yeah,
Just looking at you through the like cracked ass
I
window.
know. Do I have any pliers or something that can be strong enough to cut cuffs?
If you don't, I will throw the shit. I mean, they're not shitty, but like I'll throw the. Then definitely not bolt cutters. I say throw. I will slide them down to you.
Yeah, I would say somehow, some way you get access to a tool that you could use to cut the like the oh my god, the handcuffs. I was like, what are they called? To cut them off of Carla. And she looks pretty rough. She's been in the same clothes for several days. Um Hair just like filthy, covered in grime and stuff. Looks extremely hungry and thirsty, like cracked lips and everything, and is looking at you through this whole process as very much like fever dream esque expression of confusion and like this little bit of hope, but a lot of just like, I'm hallucinating this. This isn't happening to me. She's just kind of like numb and not really saying too much as
Okay.
you're doing that. um, Daff and Max. So, Max, you have seen Daff recreate Mad Max Fury Road, ironically, with the names and everything here. And as, on the other end, breaking into the basement and everything, Daff, you're sitting in the Cybertruck and you're like, okay, I've crashed into one car, which then crashed into another car, and now there's several alarms going off. I should probably get out of this car. The doors all lock as the engine starts smoking and like lights are flashing.
So would I be in the truck? Because I was hoping to use my ghost who's possessing me.
Oh, so you wanted to like possess the truck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Rider.
I'll say that then. So yeah, you watch then from the outside. You can kind of see your reflection in the window as yeah, the doors lock, the handles, come in because you can't open them because they don't have real handles. Fucking hate Cybertrucks. That's like the thing I hate the most about them, by the way. That and Teslas. They don't have real handles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They're
awful.
garbage.
Yeah. And you watch it all just locks in, smoke starts coming from like the battery because they don't have real engines, I believe. And Daff, there's just like a sense in the back of your head that you should move away from the vehicle as soon as possible.
I take a second to ponder that, and then I'm like, oh, I should move, and then run.
Yeah, so you're like heading back to Max, and then Max, you're watching, and behind Daff, you just see the Cybertruck explode into flames. Just bits of paneling kind of landing on nearby yards, smoke. And in the distance, you could hear like a fire truck leaving the station on its way over. Um, Probably not for the first time that they're getting called into like the area where a bunch of dumbass college students live. They're probably used to this shit happening at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But
I
you
was
will
gonna
have
say
company soon.
on my campus, it is not infrequent for drunk college students to forget to put water in their ramen and catch their dorm rooms on fire. So
That's not just a fire hazard. That also just stinks. Straight up stinks. Smells so
yeah,
bad. Terrible.
But you do get the sense that yeah, you will have company soon. Um, Jack, you kind of come around out of the yard. I'm imagining a situation very similar to the GIF of Community, where you're like coming out, being like, "Okay, we got into the basement, guys." There's a plume of smoke. Cybertruck exploded. Daff and like Max is just in the car. Daff walking,
Max is still like scooched down, and she's just like dinner plate eyes. Just cannot believe what just happened. Cause that was wild, but also that was so goddamn cool.
Can I help Carla out of the window?
I will say you can. There's a
Mhm.
lot of broken glass everywhere.
Okay.
There is
Um
still the other door as well if you wanted to try exiting that way and possibly like knocking the door down or something.
Is it
But
visually obvious that Big Girl needs help? Wait, Jack has walked over to
I was going to
right?
just like let her step on my back to push her out
Okay.
because I guess the what's it called, the table is still kind of there. If someone could just come in, just grab her out, basically.
Mm. I think Max goes over to help out because I think she's also partially concerned about the structural integrity of that table. Like it's designed to have a split in the middle. It's a ping pong. It's a table tennis.
folding
Going
table.
going down is one way, but like hauling two people up, that's so I think she may want to try to turn it into
Oh,
stone.
it's just Carla.
Just Carla? Okay.
Hmm.
I think she may want to go over and see if she can help a little bit though, and maybe turn it to stone so it's like more rigid.
I guess yeah, that brings us to I almost was like Allegro. Not incorrect. Jack, so you come over, you see this happening in front of you. What are you communicating or saying to Max and Daff? Cannot hear you.
Damn it. Okay. I was gonna like just kind of if I couldn't wave them over, I was gonna like call them and just tell them we have a way inside from the yard. I don't know yet if it would be good to have a way out or inside from the house. Uh I'm probably gonna go down there.
Can Big Girl set things on fire?
I don't have a magic tag for that.
Big Girl
I
is
Hilarious.
fire, right?
I'm a
We can say that
fireball.
yeah, big girl can be a fireball, but then like actually combusting other material is perhaps not quite within their wheelhouse, we'll say. Um
Candles in the room, right?
there were unlit candles in the room, yes.
Okay. Are there
Yeah.
any obvious matches from like any of the weird angle the three weird visual perspectives that Max has?
From Max's perspective, no. Because
Okay.
yeah. We'll say are Daff and Max gonna join Jack back at the yard though?
Yeah, Max is gonna go. Objective is try to make it easier to get out and also set the room on fire.
Amazing. Daff, what are
Yeah,
you up to?
definitely somebody
I
needs to
think
get
Daff will
Carla.
just. I think Daff is just like driving the truck over
Like onto the
for faster
yard?
escape. Yeah, like for faster escape.
On fire one or the regular? Okay.
Our
Alright,
truck.
I was
Regular
genuinely
one.
confused.
Yeah. So as like Jack and Max are like, walking over to the yard behind them, I'm this truck just are you backing into the yard or driving up?
Hmm.
I would
Probably
I would
driving
direct
up.
you
Oh,
I would probably direct you to try to back up if you can, but
yeah. If you're there directing, then I would back up. Just trying to picture like Daff trying to back
it's
up
fair.
by
That's fair.
themselves. Like no, maybe not. But yeah, with someone else directing, sure.
Okay, so the truck is now backed into the we'll say as close as you can get to the entrance to the actual like backyard and everything. Jack and Max, you can see as Big Earl is trying to help Carla climb out of the window. What are you like saying to Carla, Big Earl? Because she looks very bewildered. She's looking at you and just like what is happening? What you're bleeding. How did you get in here? You just
We're I just got through the window. I just slid right through. Um, I think Big Earl is just like kind of trying to soothe them because this is very bewildered, as you said, bewildering, and they're just saying like, you've been here for a while, and I need to get you out because I don't know what they are capable of doing after this point. And if you trust us, we can get you out, and then you can tell the story how this happened to you. So you will never be a victim again.
um okay. I yes, I'd like to get out of here. Okay. You said just you have climb? She's like looking at the glass edges of the window. um
Is somebody by the window right now, or is there nobody by the window?
By that
No,
time, maybe Max is there.
Jack's also
Are,
still
are we in
around
the
there.
front or the? Okay, okay. Jack is the
We're
back.
in
I
the
was
back.
wondering.
Can you pass it? I'll say, take a piece of the tarp.
Got it.
I want to cover the edges, so like even if they do walk up, it's gonna expose a little bit of what's in the back, but it'll be a lot easier than I could push them up basically. With I guess I'll just push them with one hand up
yeah.
the window basically.
Yeah, so you guys go ahead and grab one of the tarps from the back, and we'll say, trying to move as quickly as you can. The sound of sirens getting louder in the close distance, the close space. Setting up the tarps, and as you guys are doing that, you hear and see the sliding door from the house kind of open, and not that you three would know this, but it's the person who is playing Call of Duty, looking super confused and just like, what is happening back here?
Did you know that there's a
It's-
bunch of safety hazards in your basement?
And the guy looks at the three of you and looks at, as Carla's climbing out of the window, um just has like a, oh shit, and just runs back into the house.
Max runs
Did that
after him.
did that feel like it was he recognized Carla and was like, "Ah, fuck," like, or did it feel like a something bad has happened? I don't want anything to do with it. Sort of run.
um it definitely had a little bit of the vibe of like, uh got caught.
Max
I
goes
mean,
whatever the heck Max wants to do.
Petrified
Max-
foods.
I was gonna say, Max, can you just like get his attention and petrify, like before he runs off?
She petrifies her. She petrified. Blah, blah. She petrified her phone. I don't think it's contingent on eye contact. So as he turns and books it, she's also gonna book it behind him, but she's gonna turn his shoes into rocks, and that's probably gonna be real hard because his feet are gonna be moving. But she's gonna focus on his feet, and if
Okay.
she misses and hits his leg and said "oopsie,"
Could we like double team this?
Ooh,
I mean, because I have root. I have
Sorry.
root as
True,
magic. so,
true.
like,
sticks and stones, baby.
sticks and stones will break your bones, or at least stop you from leaving.
That's amazing. Both of you roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna do my best. I can't roll for shit, so
Ooh.
Okay. What'd we get?
No.
It was a 1.
Okay, perfect. So, what happens on the 2 is that
It's not so bad.
you do not turn the entirety of this guy's shoes into stone. You just get the soles, just the bottom.
Mm.
So he is running and then kind of has like a stumble and then keeps running.
It's
Later
marble,
on,
by the way. It's heavy.
it's heavy. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's heavy.
Slick.
He's the floors are stickies though, so it kind of cancels out. um, you probably would have an easier time catching up to him, except as Jack goes to try to, entangle him with roots or at least, somehow stop his running or impede him a little bit. Instead, the grass in the yard, which is already overgrown, shoots up another like 2 feet and like kind of like whacks as it grows, kind of whacks you guys, as you're like standing there. You're not like injured or anything. It is just like a distraction. And now it's probably like 4 to 5 feet tall, just these long, like abnormally long, like weeds and you know and ferns and such. So it's a big distraction, but through the soul, big girl, you are able to get Carla out of the basement. Um,
Um,
Still in the basement, but Carla is at least standing
out.
free in front of Jack and Max.
Okay. And can I? You said there was a book in there. Can I take the book?
Yes. I will say, as you go over to the book, it is at first, it looks so like so kind of over the top creepy that your instinct is almost like this feels like it has to be some kind of a gag. Like there's surely no way something in this is actually capable of magic or anything like that. But it also has this sense of like sinisterness around it. And I will say that you get this sense of just like you don't want to like touch it with your bare hands. It just sends a shiver down your probably fractured spine.
Okay, question, DM. Because of the nature of my body, my vessel, can I still pick it up? Um, but because it's not me picking it up, I would I would like to just pick it up and see what happens. And if something does happen,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
will abandon my body.
Ooh, okay, yes. So I will say that as you like take it with one hand because the other arm is broken. Roll me 2d6. Let me know what you get.
I got a 7.
Okay, that's decent enough. You uh go and pick it up and you are hit with this like just sense of anger and fury and this sense of like bitterness and resentment. Like this kind of thought comes to mind, not necessarily one that you've had ever before, but just like, why are you here working at the Dead and Breakfast? You could easily make your own haunted house. In fact, you could take over the haunted house. Who says that Jack has to be the one who runs it? Who says that you need to listen to anybody? That you need to be like subservient to anybody? This isn't your place in the world. You are owed more than this. Everyone should just cater to you. That's the right way of things being. And immediately you just snap and leave that body. You're like, nope, I'm out. And your fleshy form is a crumpled heap on the floor as your actual um, self, is floating in the room
Yeah,
now.
flowing up. Does Okay, for my body, does it needs a body? Would it want that body?
It doesn't seem like necessarily the body you have left behind is affected.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we'll just say it doesn't look like necessarily it's affected. Nothing seems to happen to it now that you have left
Mm-hmm.
it.
Okay. Oh, I'm just like a floating orb now. And I'm looking and I'm just like, I know, Jack, are you trying to come inside too? Or do you see this?
Yeah, I think I've like kind of passed the care of Carla off to Daff. And I'm just like, if you're gonna share memes, baby memes, calm memes, please. And then I'm trying to keep tabs on what's going on down there. And if Big Girl has like a terrible reaction to that book, I'm gonna be like, hey, oh my god, what just happened? Why are you out of your body? What's going on?
Smoke
Get some barbecue
answers.
tongs.
This you know how like the Star Wars kind of beginning, I just like say in the words that comes up to you, and this says like words over and over. I the last thing that keys in comes out, do not touch the book, get something to touch it so we can take it, don't
Hey,
let them have it.
hey, can you throw a couple of those plants? Can you just rip a couple of those up and throw them on the book for me?
Me.
Hmm.
Max will do it. Max actually was. I was about to say Max would has a handful of tall grass, and she also would have jumped in through the window.
Okay.
And she's looking for matches. But if she asks for, she chucks some. But also she's looking for something to make fire with.
Um, I'm just gonna try from where I am. I'm just gonna try to magic the shit out of that. I don't want
Uh,
it there anymore. It seems bad, like bad news. I don't think they need that as evidence for the rest of this case, given the bloodstains and the creepy sigils and the whatever the heck else is down here. Um, and I think Jack is just kind of try to say like, may the root of evil not grow here anymore, decay and be gone.
Yeah, go ahead and roll then.
Oh, fucking finally. A 6!
A 6. Um, I will say even before, like as Max is getting ready to head down there, um, Jack, you summon up the the energy around you, the plant life, the literal roots of the plants around you, and even the roots of your family that has been in Crossroads for generations. And while your relationship with the town and your family's relationship with the town can sometimes be a little bit distant, this is still your home, and you don't want anything like this to be in your home. And you look at the book on the podium, and pushing through concrete, not through concrete, but pushing around the podium for the plants that you already grew here, the vines seem to pierce the podium and pierce the book and just kind of absorb whatever corruption was here. And there's a flash of bright white light that kind of temporarily blinds the three of you, kind of wince. Even you, Big Girl, which is impressive because you are just a ball of light yourself in a way, but there's kind of like a brighter presence. And when you kind of blink past the stars in your eyes, there is nothing left of this book. It just seems like there is this kind of like white ashy powder left behind, this like almost residue where it once was, but as far as you can tell it is gone. And you can hear coming down the street the sound of fire trucks and an ambulance as they're figuring out what the fuck is happening at this house with this Cybertruck car crash thing?
Is there a smoke detector in the basement?
No.
Okay.
Let's be real honest. No.
Is
Can I find
anybody?
matches in the basement?
We don't want to burn anything else because they need to get caught for this.
Yeah, but not actually burn it, but like give the fire department a reason to come into the building versus focusing on the Tesla. So maybe not even in the room, just like near the room. The open door or
We
something.
could also just like if we want to take pictures and stuff and maybe do an anonymous tip.
Yeah, that's what I was
Carla
thinking.
also is currently in the truck with Daff, as Daff is
Oh, for sure.
probably
but, like,
showing memes of dubious quality to her shell-shocked self.
You think we trust the pigs, DM? Nah, we're taking some pictures. Just in case.
I was like, maybe you'll trust the power of investigative journalism, but apparently we don't trust in that either.
Yeah, Carla is
Given
like
the
the
last
first
guy?
one.
They work for completely different papers, first of all.
Oh, can the door be opened from the inside?
I would say you'd have to break the lock or
Okay, yeah.
otherwise disable the. Actually, no, wait. You're from the inside. Yeah, you can unlock it from the inside. Yeah,
Okay.
that is how doors work.
Yeah. Well, not always.
That's true.
Okay.
But yeah,
Max is still pretty like she photographs great. But like specifically fire department and not the cops is interesting to her. Especially
I mean,
just
they're
like
part of the first
eyes.
responders.
Yeah.
You can go through the house
Like
and
the
just
kitchen.
stone everybody.
No.
It's an option. Hey.
She wants to set the grass on fire so it's because it's green, so it's smoky. And she wants to like make the kitchen a smoke detector, hopefully has batteries in it, and then run out and cause a panic and disturbance as when they eventually show up.
yeah. And I do think so. As Max, you go to uh fill the kitchen with smoke. Daff, you see as one of the paramedics who has arrived early on the scene is approaching the truck and just kind of waves like, Is everyone all right here? Did you see maybe who is driving the truck? Is everyone all right in there too?"
Oh,
And
yes. It was some old person.
I think as you say that, unless you stop her, Carla would start getting out of the truck to go to the paramedic as she is like recognizing, safety health official. Unless you stop her, Daff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What she
Carla.
needs.
Probably what she needs. Carla, running over to the paramedic, and just grabbing the paramedic, like, I have been kidnapped. I was trapped in the basement of this house for several days. I and she kind of just like kind of shaking a little bit woozy, and the paramedic's like, okay, ma'am, let's go ahead and sit down, and we're gonna check your vitals really fast. You're safe now, though. No one can hurt you. And she kind of will waves over a few of her colleagues, but you get the general sense that Carla is in good hands with medical professionals who can tend to her immediate medical needs as well. And
Daft like leans out the window, is like, it wasn't us, it was them.
they don't necessarily seem to acknowledge you right in this precise moment, but as this is happening, the three of you, Max having pretty successfully filled the kitchen of this place with smoke, come back out to the uh, truck right as the frat bro whose soles of his shoes are now marbleized, I guess we'll say, kind of stumbles out into the front porch, coughing loudly, and just like, what the fuck is happening out here? And you can see several of the other frat bros Some of them look like they have had like water sprayed on them. They're probably trying to deal with like leaking pipes that were happening randomly. Wild how that happens. Um, and they are, looking out at fire truck, ambulance, cyber truck on fire, and one of the firefighters is like, um, "Do any of you young men know who owns this cyber truck?" And you see as Ty kind of slowly raises his hand, and the firefighter's like, "All right, sir, we're gonna do our best about it, but I don't know how much we can salvage." And you see behind him the cyber truck another as of more fire appears. You can hear now as well the sound of more sirens. Probably it is a police dispatch at this point, and another fire truck coming because this is in a residential zone. They do want to get it under control. But in this moment, it seems like the attention is not on the four of you.
All right, we have our pictures. We got Carlos getting medical attention. Their Cybertruck's on fire. I'm feeling good. Ready to go?
I think this is like a
Smoke some
final
up.
thing. As like a final thing, Max didn't really try to fill the whole kitchen. She just kind of like waved it under the fire alarm so that it would start going off. But that bundle of smoking grass, she did throw down the stairs. It's not really lit; it's smoldering. So she's not trying to set the room on actual fire. She's trying to have a breadcrumb trail into the basement. Um, I guess set the stage. I don't know, not really, but she's just hoping that somebody goes in and checks that out, but she's ready to dip. She's not that concerned about it.
Cool. I think I very briefly get like a video of the Cybertruck on fire.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Daff can use this later.
Where do the four of you go?
Let's go home.
Hmm.
I think Big Earl does a little smoke message. Finally can get there faster outside of car, meet you there, and I zoom away.
Oh, fair enough.
They're kind of invisible in the daylight because it's light in light. It's probably fine.
Who am I to stop Big Girl from doing anything?
True. I just slid through a window.
You need to know that I did for a moment imagine one of my actual aunts doing that. And it was
Direct
so good.
action.
She's like, "Brow."
But the four of you do return to the Dead and Breakfast, where Happy Henry, the living doll, is happy as always to greet you and immediately asks, "Did you guys hear about that wildfire shit that started in kind of, downtown area? Apparently the Cybertruck's on fire. It's all over TikTok and the news." Good one, Daft, by the way. You guys, what was up with that?
Knows.
I don't think we're gonna have any more murder problems though, so that's nice at least. For now.
Hey, and Happy Henry doesn't have thumbs. He can't do finger guns either, but he kind of has his little hands. He's like, "Hey, nice. Hey, Asha, you hear that?" He kind of starts, walks back as best he can into the kitchen. He has to slam himself against the door a couple of times because it is, a flap basically, but he doesn't weigh enough to put enough force behind it the first time. So he has to kind of thunk against it. And he's like, "You hear that? Cook up something celebratory for the crew, eh?" Asha's like, "It sounds like celebrations are in order. I'll make something for everyone to enjoy and some dank memes for you, Daff."
Me. You really get me.
uh,
I think Big Earl new body is like a older gentleman, with like um what's it called, salt and pepper hair, and just really dressed to the nines, just sitting there just waiting for whatever food there is.
Earl? Is that? I'm assuming nobody else would be here. Is that?
I always have a backup. I really will miss that vessel though. My original.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sorry about that.
What do you mean by original?
And I came out of the tree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Max is actually like she's not
We have
freaked
some
out. She's
tree
genuinely
conversations to
sad.
have later.
Do you like cotton trees? Because you know the root of supposedly evil. I think Big Earl starts going into details.
I'm like, cool. I'm gonna get out the fancy tea set. I guess it's story time.
Happy
Don't
Henry
ask where the
comes.
tea came from.
Yeah, don't ask. Happy Henry comes back out, jumping onto first a stool, and then the counter is like, "Cotton, you said? I'm 99% cotton. So it sounds like you and I have a lot in common, eh?"
I think Big Earl lets out a big laugh too, and it's just like, say that's a good one.
Whew.
But soon, Asha comes out with a celebratory meal for all of you. She does know everyone's favorite, so
Mm.
you would have kind of, whatever your heart most desires. And for you, Daff, it is a beautifully photoshopped image. It's a version of the girl who's in front of the burning house, but it's Cybertruck is photoshopped there, and then it's a photo of you doing like from one of the creepy TikToks.
Absolutely. It's like a Renaissance painting, but in meme form.
It's a classic.
I make
And
sure Asha sits down and joins us, and I'll be like, I'll give like a warm cup that if nothing else, it feels like nice and warm in the hands.
and all of you kind of get to enjoy this nice meal. And I am picturing someone has put the news on, and it is just running a story of freak explosion causes firefighters to investigate frat house, comma, discovers murder ring in basement. Murder victim or missing woman found. Happy ending for some. And it's just running this story about, Carla's pretty sure she hallucinated someone like rescuing her, but even though most of the story can be explained as freak accident, no one's quite sure how the cuffs got cut. But not everything in life can be explained, and maybe some mysteries are just left that way forever. And over the course of the next few days, it's quite quick. It comes out that the Alpha Sigma frat had been drawn into becoming a murder cult by former member Alex Highwater, who had convinced them to kidnap and brutally murder some random members of Crossroads. And when this comes to light, for once, the criminal justice system works and they don't even have a trial. They answer to plea deals. Families get some semblance of peace as much as they can get with a member lost. And Carla, at the very least, does seem to be on the track for a full recovery. And honestly, after this, probably an award or two for her journalistic endeavors in this. And she probably is also writing a book about it, which, you know what? Good for her. She deserves every last cent she can get out of this experience.
Hey, maybe we'll get a mention.
Yeah, Speaking of the Dead and Breakfast, it becomes somewhat of a town legend, a town meme of the crazy coincidence that is all of these people coming to your haunted house. And it is revealed that, yes, the members of the Alpha Sigma frat did case victims by coming to your haunted house to, you know, pick people basically at random. But now that the murderers are caught, rather than dissuade people from coming, it becomes part of the allure in that kind of freak way of people loving the mystery and the kind of edge and darkness of it all and everything. And regardless of your personal feelings on the matter, you do have a very successful Halloween season. The days roll by, 18th becoming 20th, 25th, and then the 31st. And then, as time passes, of course, November 1st. And before we bring this chapter of your lives to a close, what do you think the future holds for your characters, for yourselves? Go ahead and start with Daph. What do you see in the future for yourself?
So I think over the remainder of the month, once they fix their um, disguise, their projector system, they were able to actually fix their ship, and probably like that was like the ultimate scare kind of at the end of the season was like this UFO, which it's also very like the UFO version of an old station wagon, so it's got like wood paneling on it. Um, because why not? Uh, comes out of the cornfield, and just like scares the shit out of people. Um, yeah, and whoever from the Dead and Breakfast wants to join is welcome to go home with Daff, and then we'll bring them back whenever.
Group road trip? Space trip?
Max hates that idea, but she'll go.
Max is like, "Are we there yet?"
Are you there
Max
yet?
is refusing to look out the window, actually. She's absolutely mortified, terrified.
Listening to whatever the equivalent of space like 70s disco is, which I don't even like. It's
It's
just
just
the
disco.
it's
It's
I
still
was
just
just
disco.
my brain went to Hooked on a Feeling. So do, 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 do.
Yes. But it's all in Frixian, like it's not in English.
Same beat somehow. It's really impressive how they managed to condense the syllables to make it match
Hmm.
the original. Like really, really well done.
I mean, ours is the original, so
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, of course. The cover's really popular, but that's okay. So Daff is off to the stars, although they can always return and probably do semi frequently because, let's face it, no one really is going to meme as well as humans.
Aw.
And what about you, Big Earl? What do you think the future has in store for you?
I think Big Earl continues to up the ante at the the dead end breakfast. Maybe do something like front of house, not cooking or anything, but maybe add more to it to be part of their community. Like they learn more stuff, like they learn how to maybe with Jack's like be part of Jack's building, maybe something they're interested in. And then with Maxine still kind of arguing about how much smoke related stuff is in there, but also just enjoys that being with them to learn all like new stuff and everything. I think they stay in town, but they just get they start building up new vessels and new ideas, and it it really kind of brings out the feeling of them like them being part of something bigger than themselves than just leaving because they could, but they decide to just stay to try to be in part of everyone's lives.
Much like mold, the community in Crossroads does grow on you. And Jack, what about you? What do you see happening in your future?
Wild. Okay. I think after whatever little mini space road trip they take, which is probably Jack's first vacation in a long time. Um and after all that whole ordeal, I think Jack's finally like letting themselves not be doing something every second of every day. Um like allowing Big Girl to take on a little bit more stuff, like handing it off when it feels comfortable to do so, and just not necessarily being like so hyper. I don't want to say like they've always been hyper independent, but like not necessarily feeling like they need to do something always and on their own. um I think uh I don't know. I think they just, yeah, they spend more time letting Big Girl talk big ideas. They go out into town more often, maybe. Um, maybe they start learning about memes so that when Daft comes back, they have something to chat about more so. And I think maybe like tries to convert one of one of the rooms in the hideout portion of the dead and breakfast to more sculpture type stuff, just in case Max ever decides to do more with it.
And I imagine Jack mostly keeps your promise to your aunt to try to be less of a stranger and come say hi every once in a while. Sometimes even with the others. And whenever you guys do visit, you do find yourself offered this amazing, like very subtle but just very enchanting tea, and none of you wisely ever ask where it comes from. And Max, what about you? What do you see in your future?
I don't think a lot changes right away to in like to anybody else's observation. Max spends a lot of time in her room when she's not working, or when there's not like some group activity giving her like FOMO, making her like sneak down and join in. And that's where a lot of the change happens. She's aware that there's like that Jack has set up a sculpture studio for her, and she's kind of like in a hollow way grateful for it, like in very formal thank you. Like it there's a yeah, hollow, like there's a emotional aspect that's missing, and she doesn't really elaborate. No one really knows what her relationship with sculpture and stone is, like post organization. And nobody really knows that for a few weeks after this whole adventure, she sometimes just spends hours sitting on her bed with that bricked phone in her hand. That ooh, my pigeon is crashing out. Oh, hang on. He actually does need help. Oh no, he fixed it. Okay, his foot was stuck in his pants, so he's okay. um, anyway, thanks for killing the mood, Skinner. Yeah, she sits with that bricked phone. She had gotten a replacement phone, but she still has the bricked one, the marble brick, and she's actually been trying to unmarbleize it for weeks. And she finally gets to a point where she can like come to closure of that a thing that has been completely taken over by stone cannot be returned back to the state it was before. um and I think it's that day, I think it becomes a little bit more obvious to everybody she's just down. She just seems a little down. But she also goes into the studio for the first time, and she starts like taking like there's things covered in like sheets so that it's not super dusty in there and everything. She starts setting things up the way she likes and unpacking boxes that had like long hidden supplies and stuff like that. And in kind of like a little corner off to one side, she sets up this kind of little vignette where she places the bricked phone, and then she takes a silver chain from around her neck that she wears under a shirt, and she brings it out, and there's a little stone, a little, I guess marble, a little marble pendant on the edge of the chain, a heart-shaped pendant, and it's got the name Delia written on it. She just kind of like coils that on top of the phone, and then she just puts it aside, starts working on a project.
And as much as things change, they also remain the same, especially in a smallish, sleepy town like Crossroads. Thank you, everyone watching. Thank you to my amazing cast for coming on this adventure. Thank you to Nerds with Dice for letting us come here for so many weeks and tell this wacky little story that I came up with playing this fun little game that I really hope that more people want to explore. Um, there's a lot to say. I'm gonna try to get through all of it without getting too emotional and everything. Um, Before I get into cast closing and everything, um, as I said, kind of at the top of the show, please get involved in Nerds the Dice. They're doing great work here. They have a casting call for Emergent. You can find it on Blue Sky or in the Discord. Join us as well on April 16th for a Pokemon United one shot on YouTube. And mark your calendars this June 20th through 22nd. Nerds with Dice are going to be raising money for the Trans Justice Project, which is incredibly important. There's so much going on right now, and we really, got to help kind of those who are extremely vulnerable. So that's very good work. You can find Nerds with the Dice Adventures over on YouTube, where you can watch saved VODs. You can also stay updated with Nerds with Dice by subscribing to them on Substack. And as always, if you have a story that you wish to tell or a game that you want to showcase, the Creators app is always open, and you can find a link on Blue Sky. Woo! Let's go ahead and everyone, please tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you're doing next, because unfortunately we won't be here next week, but we can find you other places. If Brain, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, I will try and keep it short because I know we ran a little bit late. But I'm Rain. I'm the GM for the Hammer of the Gods podcast. Wednesdays, you can find me on my channel, which is HamPod here, HamPod on like every social. Usually playing some kind of Vampire the Masquerade game for the time being. Soon to be featuring Elliot. So that's exciting. And then this coming Friday, I will be streaming on the Trans Empowerment Project's Twitch page, playing another Wendy U game. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, I'm so excited for more vampires. It'll be great. We'll just run through all of War of Darkness at some point. But yes, Satine, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you doing?
Hey, I'm Satine Bonnet. I don't know why I forget my last part, but pronouns my name and none. I'm the co-founder of Batty Bards, all queer, all black, all trans, all ass shaking podcast. And currently, we are working on our Pride Month, and our theme is Black Trans Joy. So if you want to see some really over the top stories, but with a really happy theme about Black trans queer joy, come see us in June.
Amazing. Yes, I'm so excited to see what you guys put on. I'm gonna be either there or watching the VOD because who knows with my schedule, but I am very excited for that. Allegro, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello. I'm Allegro. They any pronouns. You can find me as Alluring Allegro across the interwebs, mostly on Twitch, on my card, and on Blue Sky. When I'm not doing actual play, I actually dress up as a virtual silly siren streamer, and you can join me on Twitch for my new model reveal on May 3rd.
Amazing. Yes, and Chanel, please take us home. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hi, my name is Chanel Lees. I use she, her pronouns, and you can find me at Chanel Lees with or without the hyphen, usually without the hyphen, pretty much anywhere. My Blue Sky has my Linktree link in it. I think my Twitch also has my Linktree in it, and then that will connect you to like all the other stuff. I'm a visual arts educator and a storyteller, and I forgot to make casting calls, do casting calls for and both of the series that I was in ended this week. So I don't know what I'm doing next, but I'll get on that eventually. But I have been hyper focusing on my first ever stint as a DM. I'm doing a home game on Discord, so I would like to do that soon. Maybe I don't know. I do stuff. Check me out.
I think you would be a fantastic DM, so I'm very excited to,
Yeah.
cheer you on in whatever fashion you do so.
Thanks.
My name is Elliot. I also go by Jad Cho. You can find me on Blue Sky at Elliot Tabletop, where I'm usually talking about tabletop things or politics because I only have two forms of things ever. And yeah, as Rain kind of mentioned, my next thing coming up is actually technically I'm doing a charity werewolf game on April 26th. We're raising money for the ACLU, so come watch me lead a bunch of werewolves as they try to rescue their pack leader, and we raise money for a great cause. And then I will be finally going back into the player chair, and Rain will be leading me as a vampire with some other amazing individuals starting on April 30th. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, thank you so much to everyone watching, to the four of my amazing castmates, to Nerds with Dice for letting me come here and do my storytelling debut in this chair, in the lead chair. I really just can only hope that people had as much fun as I did, and that people seriously go check out Here There Be Monsters. But thank you so much for joining us at this town of ours tonight. Have a great time, and everyone stay safe and tell your loved ones that you love them. Good night.